Yeah.
Okay. Suspend your disbelief for a moment, if you will, and journey with me to the beyond. All right. So in the world of Everden, on the continent of Cambria, nestled between the mighty Crest Mountains and the vast marshes of the Mock Fields, lies a mystical forest known as Humblewood, and that hums with the great rhythm of nature. Yeah, I'm just reading that.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
It has been ruled for generations by the bird folk who inhabit the great tree city of Alderheart. Humblewood has endured for centuries thanks to the industry and compassion of its people. But now there are fires that have come, wars in the mountains, and the woods have been thrown into chaos. Flames ravage the land and destroy the homes of the humble folk, stoking a growing resentment against the bird folk whose cities have managed to avoid the worst of the fires so far. Hatred burns in the hearts of those who have lost lives they cherished, and these once peaceful people now take up the sword and turn to banditry. The disaffected turn their gaze on Alderheart and threaten to reduce an age of peace to ashes. And we are going to open in the small town of Meadowfen on the eastern side of Humblewood. It's a beautiful morning, just on the weekend, and everyone is just starting to wake up and head to the town square for the farmer's market. Meadowfen is a grounded village, so all bird folk and humble folk who live here don't live in high perches, but instead enjoy all of the bounties that are on the ground and the farms around them. When you're in the market in the middle of the town square, there's every stall that you would expect to find in a farmer's market and then some. You have all growers of vegetables, a stall just dedicated to herbs, one dedicated solely to baking, another that has some very interesting little trinkets that look to be made of clockwork or polished in places and unpolished in others. And the sleepy town is just starting to get themselves opened and get themselves moving. And we are going to open with Camembert. Would you like to introduce yourself and let us know where you are in the market? Oh, we cannot hear you.
Oh, yeah, you're muted.
Oh, my name is Camembert Appenbottom. I'm a kind of humble folk, just minding my own business, enjoying this fresh air and the market. You'll find Cam down by the apple cart.
Love the prop.
All right. And moving on to someone else that you might know, a friendly face you might recognize in the middle of this farmer's market, Apoc. Would you like to introduce yourself and let us know where you are?
Yeah, I'm playing Apoc, the Mapak boar-like creature. I'd like to think that he's probably close to Camembert, and actually, frankly, the stall selling apples at this fair right now is his parents from a family business selling the apples.
You're used to seeing your parents here in the farmer's market every weekend. Even though you've gone to travel around and come back, it's always nice to see a friendly face at a stall you know well.
Which I didn't think about it, but the name, ooh. Let's go Apocalypse Now Bake Orchards.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. You may also recognize, just by sight and knowing who the friendly faces are around the eastern side of the wood. Mrs. Quillam, would you like to introduce yourself and let us know where you are?
Hello, Dace. I am Miss Rosemary Quillam, but everybody knows me as old Miss Quillam, who lives on Black Cherry Lane. And I have been in Meadowfen for as long as everyone can remember. And I am known for growing the best radishes in town. I win every year at the village vegetable contest. Not that I'm bragging or anything. And I generally come to the market pretty early in the morning, but everyone in town knows who I am. I like to carry around biscuits for the children, or any other small folk who look kind of hungry. And today I am perusing the baked goods because I have a hankering for a nice snack.
And among the baked goods, you see basically anything you could possibly want. There are apple tarts made with apples from Apocalypse Now orchards. There are some like freshly baked peaches that when you kind of cut them open, they have a dollop of like cream inside from one of the farms. There's anything you could possibly want. And the gervine behind the counter knows exactly who you are. And no matter what it is you're going to order, they're just going to slip a little extra one in there for you, for old Miss Quillam. Speaking of always wanting to feed the little guys who look like they're hungry, you see someone that, you know, everybody here in Meadowfen, but you see two folk in particular that you don't really recognize, some newcomers. They've been here for maybe a couple days. One of them you seems a little familiar, the other you have absolutely no idea who they are. Sir Basil, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you in the market?
So I am playing Sir Basil, a very small gervine mouse character. But probably the first thing that you'll notice about Sir Basil is the fact that even though he's the smallest of the humble folk races, he's even small for a gervine. So he will tell you, like, just judging by how he looks, you probably think, you know, he's not even like 2 feet tall, but we'll see what he will tell you if you actually ask how tall he is. But he seems to be this little mouse walking around, has a helmet kind of covering his face, but because of his size, probably is always mistaken as a child. And people are speaking to him as if he's a kid, but he's trying to just mind his own business and probably wandering the market just to see if he can find anything to eat for breakfast. Just this kind of mysterious little mouse creature walking around.
You see him this little mouse creature just kind of peek from underneath your elbow, him being as short as he is, Rosemary, just kind of sniffing out the baked goods. And then you see him kind of moving on, the armor sort of clinking as he walks.
He'll come up to you. You'll like be startled because all of a sudden there's this little mouse beside you. He'll look at you and just kind of like through his helmet, just kind of give it like a little nod and walk away.
Love it. And finally, the strig that looks a little out of place for the area, but was that Link or was that a dog on Georgina's end?
We're dog sitting for some friends and the dog's being annoying.
Oh, buddy.
She gets really.
Where's the pup?
You want to see her?
Yeah. Oh, hey, baby.
She's under the table now.
She's so lovely.
She's come here, Nook. Oh, hang on.
Oh, is
Nook.
his name Nook? Oh, wow, that's
Her name's Nook.
Nook. Okay.
What a fluff.
Yeah, she's a fluff. She's like a part husky mix, and she recently had a bunch of surgery, so she has no tail anymore. Like they had to amputate it.
Oh,
But
She had a cyst right on it.
Yeah.
buddy.
She takes this her little nub. It's like this big.
Aw.
That happened to my pup too when we were younger. Yeah.
Used to be like this big, long, bushy tail. Now it's just, yeah, like a little nub.
They still wag their nub though.
Yeah, like the
She's trying to bite her own tail right now.
Sorry for all the noise.
Oh, that's okay. That's really cute. Pups are always welcome, and cats.
Yes.
All right, jumping back in, the last person who's starting to get themselves up and moving along with the other town folk, the one that looks a little out of place, particularly on the ground. Dace, would you like to introduce yourself and let us know where you're located in the farmers market?
Yep. So I'm playing Dace. I am a proud warrior of the Strigg colony. His personality is more of he doesn't really acknowledge weaker looking creatures. And I'm just in the vicinity, just perusing the farmer's market because, it's all about the healthy food. This bird doesn't eat no fast food. It's all about the healthy game.
Oh my God.
So as you're perusing, you kind of slide up alongside Apoc at the Apocalypse Now Orchards farm and start looking over the apples there. And this Mapoc on the other side of the cart kind of looks you up and down with a look of initially like uncertainty, and then sees that you're really interested in the apples, and it's just like, well, we have a lot of different kinds of apples here. I recommend the Honeycrisp. They're Apoc's favorite, I think, unless you've changed your mind, hun.
No, I love them. I didn't know we settled on an apple favorite, but there it is.
The option to change it. But we also have the Granny Smith here if you're interested. But the stall over there, they make a really good apple tart if you're interested too.
Any galas, royal galas?
Of course, the royal galas, they're right over there. You can take one if you want, and if you like it, you can come back and get more later.
How about I'll grab one for you?
As you wish.
Yeah, I could grab 2. Do you want 2? You can get 3 bags? 4?
Sure.
All right, 4 bags it is. I'll go grab some. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Oh shit, no. You get 2 per session. That's what you get.
Hey there, Mr. Strigg. Name's Cam. What brings you by these parts?
I'm just crossing this town, just trying to replenish my supplies on my conquest.
Oh, well, this is definitely a place to replenish supplies. This cart here, I'd definitely tip, if you know what I mean.
Oh, note taken. This is a very friendly apple vendor here.
They're the best in town.
I'm sure it is.
Just for the prop comedy. That's what we're here for. Just for the prop comedy.
Overhearing this, I waddle up to the apple cart and say, "Oh, don't mind them, dear. I've known them since they were tiny little pups. If you want different types of apples, you can just tell them, and you can definitely barter because they will go down in price if you ask."
Ah, thank you.
No problem. I have glasses. We're going to pretend.
Oh,
Oh, here are your apples, sir. Here you go.
It's 4 bags.
Did you say 4 bags?
4?
Yeah, there's 4 here. You want to count them?
No, I trust you. This seems like a friendly apple vendor.
All right, here you go. 1, 2, 3. There's 4.
And
That'll
then
be 20
I'll
silver. 5 silver.
look
bag.
over to what's Eric's character's name?
You can call me Cam.
It Cam, and I'll toss you like a silver or something to be like, carry these for me. And I'll flip you some money.
I pick up all 4 bags and fall under the weight of the 4 bags because that's way too much for me. You know what? Keep your silver. And I swipe an apple from the bag and just drop them next to him.
All right. Well, that exchange is going on. Where you are in the center of town, Meadowfen is not very big for a small village on the outskirts of the wood. And you start to hear kind of like a person coming up the cobblestone road, but the gait seems a little off, almost like a step drag, step drag, step drag. And you start to hear just some, the elder, I need to speak to the elder. And as you turn and look down the main streets of Meadowfen, you see this, excuse me, you see this straight woman who's a little bit singed, a little bit ashy, limping with a bag that was just burned through. There's nothing left. It's just sort of hanging limply at her side, just kind of holding her arm and limping into the main town square towards the nicest house in the town square, this sort of little bungalow with a thatched roof and a green door that she's walking towards.
Mrs. Q's the oldest one in town, so I'd say she's the elder. So they point over to the hedge.
Is that true? Am I the other? I don't know.
Now, Mrs. Q, as someone who is in Meadowfen, you know that there is the elder of Meadowfen named Ardwin who lives in the house with the green door. And as this stray woman kind of looks at you, she just sort of shakes her head, winces a little bit as she does so, and just starts limping back towards that green door.
I shuffle along after her and say, excuse me, is there anything we can do? Are you all right? What happened?
I need to speak to the elder. I need to. We're in grave danger. It's the grove. It's taken an entire town. And she's just going to kind of make her way towards the door, not so much brushing you off, but just eyes focused ahead to the green door. She's gonna start knocking at it.
How far away from me are we from the door? Like, it's right there?
It's right there, yeah. It's a very small little market, maybe 50 feet from one end to the other. As she's knocking on this door, she kind of slumps into the door frame and just continues knocking until it opens and you see this gallus, so this like rooster folk, open the door. He's got some very defined wrinkles. I don't know what this is called, but he's got one that's kind of floofing to the side. And he's in these nicer robes for what you would expect out in Meadowfen, with some green embroidery that Mrs. Rosemary, you know he does himself, which is kind of cool for a male elder of the town. And upon seeing this stray woman, Rosemary, you're the only one close enough to actually hear what he says under his breath. But just, Kara, come in, and kind of looks at you, Rosemary, and gestures as well, if you're that close. He kind of looks around the town square and sees the rest of the four of you sort of staring, and just kind of gives a look, noticing all of your armor, leaves the door open and just kind of sits down in his living room next to this stray woman who's kind of panting and leaning over.
Not realizing as you walk in, I was standing beside you the entire time. And I'm eating an apple because I took it from his 4 bags.
Everyone's just stealing from Dace right off the bat.
Ooh.
Some of us are selling.
Some of us were selling. I don't think you ever got paid.
I want to look over to Sir Basil and just give him a nod. I see
And like
you.
holding this apple that's like so big for me with 2 hands. I'm just like,
Hey, Sir Basil, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
okay. Let's see.
First roll.
Mm-hmm.
Good sleight of hand for a mouth.
Indeed.
Let's see.
Okay.
17.
Yeah, Dace has no idea that you stole from him. It's weird, Dace. One of these bags is a little bit lighter than the other three.
The vendor must have undersold me then.
Excuse me. We don't undersell people here.
Gentlemen, there are more pressing things. Come, let's go inside.
Hey, Mrs. Q, whatever you say.
All right, let's go.
The Gallus kind of like, as you're walking over, just stands back in his doorway and looks at all of you approaching. This is serious. And steps aside to let you all in. As you all step into the living room, he kind of like closes the door behind you and latches it. And you notice that the straight woman now has this brace on her arm and is drinking some water. And the Gallus kind of looks all of you over and he's like, some of you I recognize. I am Ardwin, the elder here of Meadowfen. It's nice to see you, Rosemary. Apoc, Camembert. Wasn't expecting to see you here today, but all right.
Me neither, but good to see you.
I don't know you two. And he's gesturing to you, Basil, and you, Dace.
Basil throws his apple, now already eaten, and climbs the tallest thing he can find so he can be a little bit taller and stands there. Sir Basil.
This is on top of Dace's head.
Oh, good lord.
Wait, what?
Dace's head.
Oh, sure. This is so taller. Sir Basil, at your service.
And I just swipe at him like this and I'll be like, I am Dace, a warrior from the Straight clan.
A warrior and a knight may be exactly what we need for this. And this Gallus sort of sits down and just kind of slumps a little in his armchair, gestures for you all. There's no other real chairs in here, so if you want to have a seat on the floor, he's offering that. And just kind of gently pats on Kara's arm. All of you, this is Kara. She was on a scout mission in Ashborough, just north of here at the edge of the grove. She has some things that are concerning, and I'm hoping that you can help. Kara, let them know what you just told me. And Kara kind of sits up, the strig woman. You notice now that you're closer to her, she is just covered in soot and ash. It's all stuck in her feathers. You can kind of see the tawny color poking through, but she looks not great. And now that you're close, Rosemary, you especially being a healer, notice that part of her cloak had been removed where that sack that was singed through was, and there's just a massive burn right on her skin where her feathers have just been completely singed away. And Kara kind of rights herself and just sort of takes a deep breath, coughs up a little bit more soot before looking at all of you, particularly you, Rosemary, since she recognizes you. I went about a week ago just to look at the town, Ashborough. Rosemary, you remember they used to have a cart that would come into the market and it just stopped one day. And I wanted to go find out why, and it's gone. Ashborough is gone. Scorched Grove, it's like it consumed it. It was burned to the ground. There's nothing left. While I was there, there was this creature. It was like it was made of just the embers of fire. I still don't know how I ran, but I got away. But I don't think anyone else did. We have to tell the council. Someone has to. And just breaks out in a fit of coughing. I don't know what cofter is, but coughing. And she just kind of slumps back in her chair, takes a sip of water. I had family there. And looks over at Ardwin, who kind of takes another look at all of you.
You need us to go?
I mean, Apoc, I recognize you. I mean, you know what it's like here. The road to Alderheart's dangerous. We don't have soldiers. We don't even have Perch Guard to protect us from the bandits that come this way.
Yeah. I mean, couldn't go alone.
Well, judging by the armor of you two, gestures to Basil, Sir Basil and Dace.
Cam, what do you think about this?
Oh, anywhere you want to go, I'm there with you.
Could make for a cool adventure.
Be great.
Well, someone needs to go along and make sure that you all eat properly and dress appropriately. So, I mean,
Rosemary, I know you know the way. I was hoping you might be able to guide them.
I can do that.
Hearing this, Sir Basil from wherever he's perched kind of jumps down to the floor and walks up, just like puts his little hand on, what's the lady's
Kara.
name? On Kara, and says, rest easy now. We will find vengeance. We will find justice for Ashborough. And as he says Ashborough, you guys maybe can hear like a hint of like he gets choked up a little bit as he says Ashborough. But that's it.
She's just gonna kind of put a very big taloned hand on your shoulder since you are very small.
If it's a fight, then I am there.
Well, that's good because you're not gonna be alone on that road. Be careful. Hopefully it won't turn into a fight, but just be careful. And Ardwin is just going to say, if you can just get a message to the council at Alderheart, let them know we need reinforcements here. They have to know that the Grove is out of control. It's never consumed a town before. Please. If you need, and if it's payment that's going to help you, I mean, you can take anything in the market and I'll sort it out with the villagers here.
That shouldn't be too tricky for you, Cam.
Eric wants to say something. Oh, I don't know if you did say something, Eric, but we can't hear you.
Anything? There you go.
Don't make me regret this, Camembert.
No
It's
problem.
something that might help you.
Well,
I'll sort it out with the vendor.
we should probably get on the road as soon as possible.
Please.
Sounds pretty urgent.
Just let the vendors know if you take anything to talk to me. I'm going to tend to Kara. And with that, Ardwin's just going to turn his back on you and like start tending to Kara's wounds and starting to bandage her up. What are you guys gonna do?
I pick up the 4 bags of apples and I'm heading out on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just walking out.
I look over and I only see 3 bags of apples.
Did you try and steal a bag of apples, Camembert?
Oh, for sure. I've been eating apples this whole time.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
All right. Let's see. It's a 20.
Hey!
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Dace does not notice at all.
Dirty
Dace,
tw-
I see
Am
a
I-
bag of apples.
Dirty 20.
You swear you had
My
4, but now there's only 3.
stupid.
Weird. All right.
I tend to Cam and Apoc and I say, you gentlemen know everyone in this village. How about you do a round around the market and see what you can collect? But I'm warning you that if you do anything that is not appropriate, you will have my quills to tend to. But be on your toes, please.
Wouldn't want to bother you, Miss Q. Go
So if you
Apoc.
do head, oh, pardon?
Let's go Apoc.
Yeah, we should get a cart. Probably be a lot easier traveling that way.
Are you gonna pull it?
What the fuck? Do I look like I pull carts, lady?
You do own an apple cart.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I pull it.
Who pulls your cart?
Assume the
The what?
Yeah, the what?
the horses.
That's the creature I haven't heard of before.
What? I would know what pulls carts in this game. Can I roll a history check or a nature check?
No, there are still like horses and
Yeah.
oxen. There are still non-sentient
Yeah.
animals here you can use. If you're a sociopath, no, I'm kidding.
Do you think your family would be okay if we borrowed the horse that pulls your cart?
I think they need to get back home, so probably not. I'd rather take somebody else's that lives here.
If you head out into the market, there is any vendor that you do need to get whatever supplies you wanted. It's a farmer's market in the sense that there are farmers here selling goods.
Yeah.
So if you are, I don't know, looking for a goat to pull a cart, you can do that too.
Or a goat to eat.
Georgina's gonna kill you.
Oh. The goats are good at carrying stuff. And they eat less than horses.
You tell me what you want to bring with you, and there's a vendor that'll sell it. So it's whatever your heart desires.
Trying to be all chivalrous, Sir Basil walks out in front of you, holds out his hand, because he's got to hold it up really high to reach you. Say, Miss Quillam, let me escort you. And just like,
Him!
this little mouse walks with her.
Awesome. Oh, thank you, dear. I am getting a little old.
We just walk out into the market.
And I'm trying to think what we should get. I'm assuming that we would have all of our like stuff with us, like our own equipment.
Yep, anyone who traveled into town or lives in town would have their stuff with them or could go and get it really quickly if needed.
Okay.
But yeah, out in the markets, I mean, there is, you know, a vendor that has animals for rent or for sale. There is someone selling farm equipment, including things like carts or like giant shovels that you can attach to carts if you're going to plow a field. Then you have any food you want or any supplies that you want to pick up before you go. The market is your oyster.
Hmm.
I'd like to grab a bedroll if we're gonna be out for a few days. Maybe if we're doing some light camping, I'm gonna grab a bit of make things a little bit more comfortable. Get a bedroll, a nice little fleece blanket, and then if I could find some caltrops, that'd be fun. Just in case anybody's chasing us in a high speed cart chase, you never know. Caltrops can come in handy.
Yeah, absolutely. So the bedroll and the quilts, I mean, there's definitely like an older Luma woman who, you know, probably plays bingo with Mrs. Q on the weekend. And there's a bunch of hand knitted bedrolls and hand knitted quilts, as long as you're okay with like flowers and stuff being in it.
This is genuine fleece.
Oh, absolutely. Keep you nice and warm at night, even in the crest.
Excellent. All right, I'll take it.
Hey Cam, grab a couple.
Compliments of the elder. Run off.
Yay.
He's gonna pay for it, I swear.
Okay. She's just kind of used to you being you. And then, yeah, as for the caltrops, I mean, you can get that at any kind of farmer's supply stall that you see. So you're fully equipped. And I guess you are too with a quilt
I wanted to.
or a bedroll, whatever you prefer. Are you still looking for a cart, Mrs. Q?
I think probably. And I'm thinking that a pony might be a little easier for us to maneuver than a horse because we're all rather small. So I'm thinking a nice little Shetland.
Sounds good. You can definitely do that. If you want, there's any stand you need. So if you want the cart, you can grab the cart. And if you want the Shetland, everyone knows you here. They'll take you at your word.
Could we get like a cart that has 2 animals pulling it, just so we can go a little bit faster,
Sure, if that's what you want.
rather than one little Shetland pony?
They can pull a lot.
Just like a goat can pull a whole thing of plate mail.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. 5 people weigh a little bit more than plate mail, though.
We could definitely get 2 decent ponies who are healthy and, but also we can't feed them too many apples, guys. No matter how cute they are, we're going to need those for the journey. So I go get a cart and some ponies. And also, is there like a place where I could get some, I don't know. I have never been a cleric before, so I don't really know how this works, but like medicinal herbs or something that I can use in the event that someone gets hurt, like useful herbs that aren't just
Or
culinary.
even just like potions or anything like that.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that too.
So you would know, like potion makers, they're not too common here in Meadowfen. It is a farming town, a sleepy farming town. There's a stall that sells herbs. It's not going to be the same as like a herbalism kit if that's what you're looking for to actually heal someone. But it could be herbs that you can use as flavor text if you're trying to like make a salve. There's just no mechanical benefit.
Sure. Plus, we all need a little bit of flavor.
There we go. Perfect.
So I'll get an array of herbs, and because I'm with Basil, I'll like make a joke because I'm gonna buy some basil.
You only get 2 now.
Apparently, we're all assholes here.
How do I even respond? I'm just like, It's just like grumbles to himself.
And then I go to, the farmer who sells the root vegetables. And I get a sack of potatoes and carrots.
Perfect. Yeah, you can do all of that, and they'll take you at your word that Arvin is going to take care of it if that's what you let them know.
Just curious, how big is this bag of potatoes and carrots?
I'd say about the size of a small mouse.
Can I try carrying it for you to be like nightly?
Okay.
But essentially, you just see this bag with 2 little feet, just like underneath it, walking.
Okay.
I want to make you make a strength check so bad, but
I mean, yeah,
we'll avoid that. All right, so you have your cart, you have the bedrolls for Apoc and Camembert, you have your potatoes and carrots and your ponies, who I'm assuming the names are going to be TBD.
We'll come up with some good ones.
Dace, you have your apples. Is there anything you wanted to pick up before you set off on the road?
No. Since I didn't know where I was going, because I said I was leaving, I'm just wandering around and I just happened to pass by Cam.
Yep.
I'll just tag along with him.
Perfect. Love it. Just starts walking out, realizes you're going the wrong way, turns around, walks back. Great. All right, so being all equipped, this
Could I grab Tinker's tools?
absolutely you can grab Tinker's tools. Are you going to pay for them, or are you just going to tell the vendor that Arvin is going to
It's all under Arvin.
All right.
Yeah.
You kind of, if you go to like the little Tinker table, called Tinker's Trinkets, they'll just kind of look at you. Tinker's Tools, huh?
Yeah. Have you heard about my tinkering?
You're the guy that writes the B-log?
Yeah, it's my boar logs.
Yeah, you ruined a bunch of trees on my property last year. I wasn't too proud of that.
But now everybody knows how to tinker.
Arvin's gonna take care of this. You're not
Sure
lying
thing.
to me, Apoc.
Cross my hooves. Thanks, sir.
Bring him back.
But he's gonna take care of it
Bring him back.
one day.
Would I have a pot? Like a cooking pot?
Sure, you can have a pot.
Cool. I have a pot.
Add a pot to your inventory.
Sweet.
Or just cooking supplies.
I don't know what it'll become. But
There needs to be one chef per campaign.
Well, I have a pot. I have an iron pot.
Do you have an iron pot?
Is there a jeweler nearby?
In Meadowfen, there would be. There's not a lot of riches in Meadowfen.
Okay.
But you being you, you know where the jewelers would be. They're
Well,
just not.
they're not in Meadowfen, so we'll wait for the next opportunity. No worries.
All right. So if everyone has gathered their supplies, you find Dace kind of wandering back with 3 sacks of apples that he still looks a little confused by. There's only 3. He definitely thought he had 4. But nevertheless, he finds you and you join up with the other 3 and set off on the main road out of Meadowfen. So
I see Dace looking a little bit confused, like looking at his apples, kind of confused. And I say, dear, I just recommend that if there's anything you don't want to get stolen in this company, keep it on your person.
And I just look confused. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's okay. Because I don't have a dentist.
And then you just hear coming through, and you see a bag of potatoes walking through.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. All right, so just out of curiosity, are you all on the cart or are you walking beside it? Like, how quickly are you able to move here with your cart?
Did we get dual animal carriage here, or?
We have
Yeah.
2 ponies.
2 ponies that are currently just pony 1 and pony 2 until
Thunder
afternoon.
and lightning.
So what do you want to call them?
No. That's just me.
And also, who is going to drive this cart?
Do any of you have experience driving ponies?
Does anyone
Does
have,
anyone have animal
animal,
proficiency?
animal handling?
Vehicle proficiency.
Oh, I'm proficient in animal handling.
You are?
Yeah.
Really?
Little mouse, you have this big cart.
You just
All right.
totally down. I hand the reins over to you and I sit myself in the back and whip out some knitting.
So I will make you make a roll just to see how quickly you're moving down this road. And if Apoc wants to help, you can have advantage on it if
Sure.
you're helping.
I don't know how I would help.
It's a vehicle. I count that as a vehicle.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so
I'm
what,
not proficient with vehicles.
I thought you said you had vehicle proficiency.
No, I was just
Oh,
saying vehicle proficiency would help.
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Vehicle.
I have a vehicle proficiency. I think it says vehicle land.
Great. All right.
Mhm.
So if Dace is helping you,
There
you
you
can
go.
have advantage on the roll. Sorry, I misunderstood
No.
what you said, my dear.
Yeah, I'll help.
so what am I rolling?
So roll a d20 and add your animal handling, but roll with advantage.
Ooh.
16.
Amazing. You're absolutely cruising. These ponies have taken a liking to you, this small little mouse. So you make very quick work of the road leading out from Meadowfen, faster than you would on foot, definitely, but faster than you actually expected to. And by midday, you know that you've covered a lot of ground and you're getting pretty far, which is nice. You know that the next town over, particularly you, Apoc, Camembert, and Mrs. Q, the next town over, Winnoning Reach, is about a day and a half. And at this rate, if you keep this up, you'll make it there in like a day, which is nice. So as you're kind of just plodding along, moving along, the sun is starting to move through the sky, and it's about late afternoon when you reach kind of a part of the road that has a bend up ahead. And there's really tall trees on both sides that are starting to form. And although you can kind of see through them, they're sort of like saplings. If you kind of look along the corner, you can see that there are figures moving just on the other side of the bend, still on the road. It's a little bit fuzzy where they are and who they are, but you can see that there's someone up ahead. And the closer you get to the curve in the road, you do start to hear some voices. Are you just continuing on?
Could we listen for what they're saying?
Sure. Everyone can make a perception check if you want to try and listen to what they're saying.
I picture I fashioned my bedroll into a bit of a hammock off the back end of the cart, and I'm sleeping in the back hammock.
Amazing. So if you're asleep, you don't get to make a roll.
What's going on, guys?
Right,
18.
18. Anybody else? Pardon?
9.
I rolled.
Mrs. Q, did you roll?
I did 11.
Okay, great. So Mrs. Q and Apoc, you kind of listen for a beat, and you just hear sort of what sounds like a person hitting the ground, like a sack of potatoes almost, and just a, oof. And you just hear some grumbled voices saying, just stay still. We just want to take our stuff and leave. Don't move. We don't want to hurt you.
Mr. Bottom, I think somebody's in danger.
Mr.
Hearing that, I slow the cart down a bit to like kind of like a slow trot.
All right, and as you kind of slow the cart down and the horses are now sort of trotting their hooves on the ground, you sort of hear Apoc and Mrs. Q just a shh, shh, shh from the other side of the road.
I think there may be someone who is in need of help.
Let's go. We
Okay.
gotta help them, right?
All right.
We're adventurers.
Pull the cart over. What am I doing? To the side and kind of like
Gerbine drifting.
yeah, keep the horses really calm and like shh, like so they don't make a lot of noise. So from like from where I'm sitting, I jump on the horse's back. I just start like petting the back of his head, to, like trying to calm it
Oh
down.
my gosh.
You hear from, have you turned the corner or are you still like around the corner?
So
You can
we would have-
you can sort of see figures through like these saplings, and they're
Okay.
just kind of like currently not moving, but you can't really make out how many or who or anything on the other side. You could just sort of hear their voices drifting through the.
I would assume before we hit the bend, I kind of like pulled the cart over on the side of the path. So if this is the bend, we're kind of like right here, just before.
Okay, so just before it. So you're not really face to face with them and they're not really face to face with you yet.
Mhm. But we know that Quillam and the rest have heard something.
So the same way that they can see that you can see them, they can sort of see you, and you see one of them kind of looking, it looks like they're just starting to look through the trees, and you hear just another kind of kick and and the one that seems to be looking in your direction is like, can kind of see you, just keep moving on, we don't want any trouble.
Are we close to the woods at this point? Or
It's
like
not
getting
so
off the
much
sharp?
wood as it is just very tall, skinny saplings kind of clustered. So the road kind of like has a little bit of a dip to it.
But we're
before
at the
there's
sapling?
saplings.
Okay, so there's a little, okay.
Yeah, and ahead of you is just a curve. You kind of pulled off right before the curve. So if you just walk, 15 feet straight ahead and turn to your right, you'll be face to face with these guys. Right now, you're just having a staring contest through these saplings.
Hey, Apoc, you're pretty good at this. You want to start it off?
Sure. And Apoc just kind of goes out and just hear jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle
Oh,
of his scale mail. So he gets out of the cart, heading like kind of into the ditch closer towards the trees.
I can
just
see
kinda-
you moving. I mean, you can see me, I can see you.
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing?
It's none of your business. Go around. We'll let you pass if you just want to pass.
I want to try and sneak to the flank.
All right, so like on the left side of the road, just, okay, make a stealth check.
And I'm gonna head out into the distance too, like where I can
21.
see them clearly.
Ooh,
Wow.
beautiful roll.
Okay, you're on the road. Sorry, what was your roll, Cam?
21.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you can definitely do that. They don't even notice you. You kind of like like stay behind the cart and just shimmy really quickly to the left side and do a jumping roll into the ditch. But you can move freely and they'll likely not see you. So you going around the edge, you notice that they are, if you walk straight, turn to your right, they're about 10 feet in front of you now. You can see the one that's kind of been looking out towards your cart and just still kind of squinting. And you see another 3 standing above this figure that's kind of just slumped over on the ground and curled up, sort of almost like protecting themselves. The 4 that are standing are dressed in these kind of scrappy leathers. They're all Apoc, kind of looking at you. A few of them have a dagger, one has a short sword. And just to your left, kind of leaning almost slyly against a tree, you see a female vulpin in some very nice studded leather armor. Just kind of arms crossed, looking at you as you turn the corner. One of the figures standing above this crumbled figure on the ground is just gonna go around.
Who's on the ground? Is it like what?
You can't tell.
Can't tell.
It's just right now a ball of kind of fur, and you do see fur, so it's not feathers.
Gotcha.
But it's just kind of a ball of fur with some like with this clothing kind of all over the place and bags strewn about. And there's a little hand cart that's about 5 feet behind them.
Gotcha.
This has nothing to do with you. You can go.
Yeah,
And your friends.
we're gonna pass by here. Let me go back and get my cart. Just hold on. Don't move. We're just gonna go by. I go back to the cart. And I whisper really quietly. Guys, we gotta fuck them up. They're pretty, like they look pretty weak. I think Cam ran in already. He tends to do that, so we gotta act quick.
Shot over to you, Cam. What are you doing?
I'm like sneaking around the side to get to the opposite side, so if anything does happen, that like I'm flanking from the other side, and it's almost like I'm bouncing from like sapling to sapling, mound of dirt, and like every time you see like me pop up, I'm wearing like more and more mud or branches to like slowly form like a ghillie suit, and like there's like mud on my face to like make it look like camouflage as I'm working my way around. But
Camouflage?
and then I'm just kind of waiting for Apoc's signal.
Okay, I think I know what I want to do, but I'll wait and see what you guys want to do.
I sort of like shuffle to the edge of the cart and like try and get down, but I'm kind of short and some little legs are kind of dangling. And I finally get down. I'm like, oh, all right, let's go see what's going on. And I just stop because I'm really slow because I'm old. It just takes a really long time to do anything. I'm old, dude. I'm a hedgehog. What do you want?
Okay.
Just rolls as a hedgehog.
I could just barrel right through them, but I'm a peacekeeping hedgehog.
Are you guys passing through or are you talking?
What I want to do is hearing Apoc say that to us and seeing Miss Quillam get into like battle storming mode. I like jump back on the horse and go, and I want to like yell, huzzah! And I want to drive the horses into them.
And the cart, they are still attached.
I want to like battle ram them with the cart.
That's brilliant.
So you're gonna come screaming around this corner,
And like
you're about 20 feet away. Battle ram them.
Yeah. So how are they standing right now? Like.
So there's a vulpin, a female vulpin that's kind of leaning up against a tree off to the side of the road. If you're going to try and battle ram these guys, you would not hit her. There are 3 Apoc bandits who are just kind of standing clustered around this one figure that's curled up into a ball on the ground.
Okay.
You have an inkling that, well, you would see it. You have an inkling that that's where the sounds were coming from. And there's one final Apoc bandit who's maybe like a few steps just to the side of the road. He was the one looking at you guys through the saplings.
Can I ram and run through the 3 standing over the the guy? Or would I hit
With
the
the way the cart is, your 2 horses and the cart, if it was, just the cart, you might miss the figure on the ground, but 2 horses stampeding, you're gonna hit the figure on the ground as well. You can do it if you want, but you'll hit all 4 of them in that cluster.
Do it.
What's Dace doing?
Now
If Basil is doing this, I will stay in the cart until I'm very close to the enemies, and I'll just jump out, but like glide to like the nearest enemy and like kind of like take out my great axe and just try to like maybe like a surprise attack from the above.
all right. Sorry, Mrs. Q, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to suggest something else, but technically I'm out of earshot.
Should I do it?
So.
Yeah, tell you what. Like, but with the split seconds, I probably wouldn't have noticed the guy on the floor. I just would have noticed 3 guys. I go for it. Huzzah!
You're gonna go straight and ram into the cluster of 3 and that one figure who's lying in a heap on the ground.
Which I probably wouldn't have noticed being such a small creature riding this cart.
I mean, keep in mind, you did notice that there was like sounds from when you were listening through the saplings, but if you're gonna do this, we're gonna make some rolls.
So
That's fine. What are you gonna do?
so if I see you barreling along, okay, and I can tell that you're gonna hit the wee one on the floor, then maybe I would yell to Dace, say, perhaps it's time to use those wings for something useful, sir.
Or can
Maybe you
Cam
can
like jump
Fly
out
down and
him?
grab him. Or someone, one of you that's standing around can just like scoop him up at the last minute. There's so many of us. I'm slow. I can't do it.
Is
Yeah,
it a
I'm-
small figure?
Yes.
Like, could I cover it with my body?
So they're about your size.
No, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, so they are about your
Wait.
size, but I mean, here's the thing, you came back, so the
Yeah.
only person who's close enough to do anything if Basil's gonna go is gonna be Cam. No one else is close enough, and
Yeah.
Dace, I think we talked about this, Dennis, bird folk in this universe can't actually fly.
Oh yeah, no,
Fly
like
down, but
glide
there's
down.
no flapping, yeah. So you
Could I
can't
like jump
scoop this
up
figure
and
up.
then glide down?
Are you jumping
You
from?
can glide. You can definitely glide down, from the cart to the nearest enemy if you want, but
Yeah.
there's no scooping
Yeah.
the figure
This is
up
gonna
and
be
flying
like-
away.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
like that would even cross my mind.
Okay, no, collateral damage is fine. It's fine.
I'm going for it.
Okay, you're gonna go and ram these 3 bandits. Okay.
It's Cam
Go
saving us.
ahead and go ahead and make an attack roll with your dexterity. And I'm gonna see if these bandits are gonna be able to get out of the way.
So I
See
just
you
roll-
coming through.
So I just roll a d20 and then add my dex modifier. Is that
Roll
right?
a d20, add your dex modifier, and because you have animal handling and are trying to get these horses to stampede, I will give you your proficiency as well. So roll a d20, add your dexterity modifier and your proficiency, which is, what is it, +2?
Okay.
And I give these bandits an attempt to
16.
16.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, all 3 bandits fail. So you do ram into them. Roll. Oh god, what's stampeding damage here?
Remember, it's 2 horses, okay? 2
Roll
horses.
roll 2d6, and that's gonna be your damage for the horses. And I'm gonna give. All right, and the figure on the cart or the figure on the ground also fails. So what was that damage?
8.
8. Okay. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, so yeah. All right, visually, Dace, we'll get to you in a second, and then we're gonna roll some initiative here. We'll count this as a surprise round. So, Sir Basil, you decide to, as Rosemary just takes the last step off the cart with her tiny little legs, unknown to Apoc and Cam and anybody, you hear the horses and just peel around this corner. And the one bandit that was kind of looking at you guys through the sapling has the good fortune of being one step too far for you to hit. So they roll out of the way just fine. And you go careening into these three bandits around this figure who's crumbled on the ground. And these bandits just go scattering. You kind of like, the horses sort of smack them to the side as you go. They already look really rough and are just kind of like holding their rib cage as they try to stand back up. One of them has like a forearm that's just kind of pounded and broken. And this figure on the ground just sort of screams out as they get trampled underneath the horses, and just moans and kind of stays still.
Oh.
Way to go.
Dace, as we're doing this, you get an opportunity to jump off and glide to the nearest bandit. And while he's doing that, everyone else, please roll some initiative for me.
Ooh, good.
So Dace, what are you gonna do? There's the Vulpin up against the tree, and there's the one bandit that was on the other side. So you can either go left or right off the cart. Left is to the Vulpin, right is to the last bandit.
And the one on the right, you said that's the one that dodged out?
Yes, that's the one that dodged out. You could also go to any of the three that were hit by the cart if you want, because they kind of scattered. But if you're doing this all in sequence, like those three would be in front of the cart and you could either go left or right.
Got you. The one that dodged, like, are they already on their feet, kind of aware of what's happening?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They were the one looking through the sapling, so they noticed the cart come careening. Even though it was a split second, they noticed.
I'll take the one on the left, closest on the left, the one that I believe got hit by the cart.
So the one on the left is the Vulpin. They did not get hit. The one on the right is a bandit. They did not get hit. And then there's three that got hit in front of you, as well as the figure on the ground.
I'll take the Vulpin on the left.
The Vulpin on the left. All right. So you're gonna dive bomb into this Vulpin. You're attacking, or like, are you trying to punch? What are you doing here?
I mid-air, as I'm gliding down, take out my great axe and just two-hand just downswing on this guy.
All right, make an attack.
12.
12 does not hit.
Oh my god.
So you go to hit this Vulpin, and thankfully she's pretty dexy and definitely saw this cart coming. And as you go to leap off the cart, she almost like lazily just sidesteps, and your great axe thumps right into the tree that she was leaning on. It's like 3 inches deep. All right, initiative from everybody, please.
17.
Okay. Sorry, hold on, let's do this first. 25 to 20.
Oh,
right.
Okay, so no one.
Sorry, was there anybody 25 to 20?
Nope.
20 to 15.
I rolled a 17.
Okay, so Basil. 15 to 10. Oh, Eric,
I rolled a 10. I'm raising my hand. I rolled a 10.
A 10. Eric, what did you roll?
I think you're muted.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
11.
11. Okay. So Cam, Dace, Apoc, what'd you roll?
7.
7. And Mrs. Q?
3.
3.
I'm still feeling for your character.
Good cleric rolls.
And sorry, I have to roll a couple more initiatives here.
You want the cleric to go last. That's the.
That is true. You do want the cleric to go last. Okay. You rolled a 7, yeah?
We need Rosemary to bail us out of all the bad decisions the rest of us make.
Yeah. Basil, what did you roll again?
17.
17. Okay. And then, great. Okay, so all right, so setting the scene, this figure on the ground, 3 bandits looking really bad. One of them with like a broken forearm. Basil, you're on the cart, still careening. Dace, you and the Vulpin are off to the left. Apoc, you're a little bit behind. Rosemary, you're just gonna truck along until you catch up. Cam, you're still off to the side in the ditches, so you're still technically hidden. And there's one final bandit that's just off to the right. And Basil, Sir Basil, you are up first on a careening cart.
Okay. Does that mean that it's part of my movement then to like stop this cart? Or does that mean that I can turn around and go for round 2?
If you want to turn around and go for round 2, first of all, it's going to be a little harder. These bandits are a little farther away from each other, so you'll only be able to, I would say, maybe try and hit one. It's also going to be another attack roll, but you can do it. I won't really count that as your movement. It's more like the horse's movement.
But if I like stop the cart, is that considered my movement? So that I'm just stuck on the cart, or can I like get off and like attack?
Yeah, so if you stop the cart, that could be a bonus action. Just make sure the cart actually stops, and then you can get off, move, and attack for sure.
Okay, I will.
You just hit these bandits, so you're maybe like 10 feet away. But the horses are going to keep going unless you tell them anything.
I pull the reins to stop the cart. Does it stop?
Yeah, so using your bonus action to stop this cart, like I'm not going to make you roll for it. They'll stop if you just pull on the reins. So now you're about 15 feet away with that extra little like sliding in the dirt.
Okay, and I want to, with my great sword.
You have a great sword as a Jervine? You're 2 feet tall. Where do you store it?
Magic.
Amazing. Go on, continue.
So I want to lunge at the closest bandit. But as I do it, I want to say, we're here to fuck you up.
I beg your pardon.
What's this? It's what Apoc said. I'd like to declare.
I like to say that's what Rosemary said it in canon.
We're here to F you up. And I want to take a swing at the closest bandit. So I guess it would be one of the 3 that I just ran over.
Yeah, so for ease, it's the guy that has the broken forearm. That's just
Okay,
kinda like
I will take an attack at him.
for sure. You jump off the cart, leap the other 10 feet of distance, and take an attack at this bandit.
And it's a 16.
It's
Oh.
a 15 that hits. Go ahead, roll damage.
Okay. That's 10. And
That's a
damage.
10? Oh yeah, that's enough. This guy is like, he was at like 2 hit points. Yeah, he is down. You just take this giant swipe with your greatsword. And is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
That is it, I think. So I'm just standing there after having just sliced this dude.
All right. So that bandit is gone, which is that guy. So you just take this giant swipe and cut down this bandit like it's nobody's business. And the 2 that are now extremely close to you also hear you say, "We are here to fuck you up." And one of them is going to look at you, still clutching onto their ribs, and take out their own short sword, and is going to just take a swipe at you. Although
Okay.
it's going to be more like a upwards to downwards because you're so short.
Yes.
And that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Ooh, yeah, that hits.
Okay, so you are going to take 7 points of slashing damage from this bandit, as he is just going to, this Apoc kind of looking at you, very raccoon-like, is just gonna snarl, and you see those fangs that we know raccoons have because they're terrifying critters. And is just going to say, "We were gonna let you pass, This is much better. Camembert, you are up in the ditch.
Okay.
And just for the sake of knowing where you are, you're on the side of the road that the Vulpin and Dace are on.
Okay, so what I was actually, that's perfect, because what I was figuring is when Dace comes down with the axe and the Vulpin like floats to the side, she like bumps up against the tree, but doesn't realize that it's me, completely like just enveloped in the brush. And then as she backs up away from the blade, it's like, that was a wrong move. And I pull my dagger out and try and stab her in the leg.
Oh, nice.
All right, go ahead and make an attack.
Okay. It's a 21 to try and hit her. Like, I'm specifically trying not to hit the pretty looking armor.
Okay.
Because I don't want to damage the armor.
I
I'm
love
gonna try and stab her in the leg. So
yeah, absolutely. A 21 definitely hits.
that is
And you are hidden, so.
That's 5 points of damage, but I'd like to use my, well, I guess I should have said it earlier, so I'll just leave it. So yeah, 5 points of damage.
Okay. Is that with your sneak attack and everything being hit?
Oh, no, I didn't use my sneak attack. Thank
You're a rogue!
It's an extra 3, so 8.
8 total. And what were you gonna use, Eric?
Oh, I was gonna use my my booming blade effect. So if she moves, she takes another some more damage.
Okay. Is that like, does that just happen? If she moves, she takes damage? Okay.
Yep.
Please remind me if it comes up. All right. So the other bandit, the one that is currently on the other side of you, you jumped into the middle of 3 of them, and you ran them over with a cart. He's gonna join his buddy, and he's gonna take a swing at little Sir Basil, the tiny jerving in the middle to Apoc. Oh, but that's gonna miss with a 5. So knowing from the first one, you just kind of duck an extra inch, and the blade just comes. Do you have a little feather or something on the top of your helmet?
No, but it's just my ears and my tail that would stick up taller. So
Okay, you feel the wind on the top of your ears from this short sword as he just tries to swipe across and get you, but he misses. Hey Dace, what's your dexterity modifier?
+2.
+2. What's the big number?
14.
All right. The Vulpin is going to go first. So, this Vulpin is very light on her feet. And even though she backed up into Camembert and avoided Dace quite swiftly, you would actually notice, she's just going to kind of look at both of you. Just sort of wasn't planning on getting into a fight, but here we are. And is actually going to go ahead and take a swipe at, you just stabbed her, but you tried to stab her. Actually, she can make 2 attacks, sorry. So what she's going to do is take out her short sword, and she is going to make 1 attack against each of you in just 1 sweeping arc around her. So the first is going to go up against Camembert since you're closest. And that is going to be a 15 to hit.
Yes, that does hit.
So you are going to take 5 points of slashing damage.
Oh.
I think we might have been too low to start such that. It's okay.
The second strike, she's going to go ahead and finish with the end of her rapier, just like stabbed into or slashing towards you, Dace. Ooh, that's going to be a 8 to hit.
Nope.
All right. So you're just able to kind of sidestep it the same way that she sidestepped your great axe. And she's just going to kind of look at both of you and is just going to say, we were going to let you go. We just wanted the cart. But this is better. Dace, you're up.
All right. I'll take my great axe and I'll try to hit her again.
Okay, go for it.
I hit a 9.
A 9. She's just going to, again, kind of sidestep. Sweetie, is that all you have? That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's a break.
Damn.
Anything else on your turn, Dace?
Let's see.
You have your bonus action and your movements. Don't forget you can rage as a barbarian.
Oh yeah, let me read about rage. No, that's okay right now.
If you want to, when you finish reading about rage, if you do end up wanting to rage at any point, like just let me know and I'll let you do it, because it's, first combat with a new character. But you get, I believe, a bonus to your attacks and damage, and like advantage on any strength check or dex check. I can't remember, but you get some benefit for raging. That's all.
And then it says if your rage ends early, you are knocked unconscious, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taking damage. So if I miss on my rage attack, does that mean I go unconscious?
So your rage ends if you don't attack somebody and if you are not attacked.
Okay.
So that's when your rage ends. But
or if you are knocked unconscious.
Or if you are knocked unconscious.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, you know what? Since she made that little snarky comment, I will enter a fit of rage.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Dace rages. Apoc. You're still just tucked around the bends. You're about 20 feet away. What you gonna do, my friend?
I'm going to, 20 feet away from everybody, or like the group?
From the cluster, yeah. So like Mrs. Quillam is now like, walking along. She's maybe like 10 feet in front of you because she got a head start, but you're just around the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out from behind the corner and just get in front of Miss Quillam right now. Just give her a little bit of protection. And I'm going to pull out my longbow and just tap backwards, so the butt of it just kind of knocks the quiver on my back, and you see a little mechanism pop out an arrow, and I just reach up, grab the arrow, knock it, and aim over at the Vulcan that has Camembert right next to him.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
Sweet.
Very cool.
So cool.
That is a. How do I play character? That's a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Ooh.
That was really cool, though.
Thanks.
Whatever that is. I like it.
Useless mechanisms that make it work. Oh, that's good. That's 9 damage.
Okay.
As she takes the arrow, it's square in the chest. I'm not trying to be picky with it. Just right in the center of that pretty armor.
But Cam was trying so hard to
Apoc!
I don't know that.
You still look like a tree. Apoc doesn't know you're there.
I'm like coughing up blood. No!
Amazing. All right, so you shoot this arrow, and it hits her like right under the collarbone. And she just kind of like, you hear just a little as she takes it and looks to where the arrow came from. And there's just this flash of kind of anger in her eyes as she looks at you, but she just kind of dead eyes locks with you and pulls it out of her chest and throws it to the ground.
You want more?
If only. All right, the bandit that did not get hit by the cart is now up. So he's a little far away. He just saw you come around the corner and shoot that arrow with that really cool mechanism, and he's kind of jealous. So he's going to take out his short bow and he's going to aim it at you. And he's going to make an attack. Holy smokes. Maybe I need to jail these dice anyways.
Is that your new dice?
That's many dice with skulls in them. I have skulls in them for DM dice, and they're rolling really bad. It's a 6.
Sorry, that's not gonna make it.
It just like is way off to the right.
Oh.
You have a cool quiver. I want it.
Thanks, bud. Check out my boar logs.
I was just gonna pry it off your corpse, but that's cool too. Mrs. Q, Where are you?
I don't know how far have I got.
Well, Apoc jumped in front of you.
Yeah, so I'm behind Apoc.
I mean, you're 20 feet away from the cart. Your movement speed is your movement speed. So
Okay, quick question about, I've never used spells before. So I have cantrips and I have first level spells. And I know that with cantrips, I can do them whenever. And first level spells, I have a certain number of slots per, like, I don't know, short rest or long rest, whatever. So does that mean that when in combat, I can still cast a cantrip and it won't count as my action?
absolutely, yeah,
No,
absolutely.
it counts as an action still.
Oh, sorry, as an action. I thought I heard slot. Yeah, it still counts as your action or bonus action. It just doesn't take a slot for you to cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many bandits are there left?
There's 3 still standing. 2 are looking really bad. They're holding like their rib cage and their arms from being run over. One of them, the one that just shot at Apoc, is looking dandy. And the Vulpin, even though she's got like a hole in her chest from the arrow, she's like very holding her head high.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. We're just gonna go with it because I'm not really sure what to do yet. So from behind Apoc, you sort of see Rosemary come to like a stop, and she grabs the necklace that's around her. I don't know why I did this. She grabs the necklace that's around her neck, and Apoc, she whispers something, a word so quietly you can't really hear what she says, but a burning radiance erupts from her. And the 3 bandits that I am assuming are within visual range by the time.
You can definitely see them.
Okay. All must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Awesome.
I cast Word of Radiance.
Word of Radiance. I'm going to say there's a range on Word of Radiance. You have to be within 5 feet of them in order to do this. So if you want to keep walking, Apoc, I don't know where you stopped, but are you 5 feet in the between?
I was just right in front of Miss Quillam, and I was giving her some barrier.
So you're still about 10 feet away from these guys.
Okay, so can I just, okay, in which case I just move around him.
Okay. All right, so plopping yourself down, I'll say that you can probably plop yourself within 5 feet of the 2 bandits that are currently bothering Sir Basil, but not the 3rd. He's a little too far away. And you'll be able to get the bandits without getting Sir Basil. He's like 1 step too far.
Cool.
All right, so it's a con save for these 2 guys?
Yeah.
All right. So the one on the right, let's just say, okay, that was bandit number 2. He has a 16. Oh, and the one on the left is a critical failure.
Okay.
So 1 pass, 1 fail.
So the guy or gal, I don't know who it was, who failed is going to take, I'm assuming I rolled the damage, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you roll the damage.
5 radiant damage.
Right, because it was a critical. Is it double?
No, not on saves.
Okay.
I like the attempt though. All right.
And then
So bandit 2 crumbles under this burst of just radiant energy from her, or from Mrs. Q. Does your radiant energy have any color?
it's pink.
It's pink. Pink radiant energy just sizzles the side of this bandit as she waddles up. All
I
right.
just say, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And then as my other action, I just sort of curl up into a ball.
You curl up into a ball. Are you using your trait to do that?
I don't quite know how it works.
Let's see here. Curl up. So curling up is your action,
Okay.
which your spell was your action.
Oh, I see it now.
You can't do it this turn.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do bonus action though.
You do
thought
have a bonus action still.
Healing word.
Yeah, I'll wait till the end to use that. In which case, I don't really have any bonus actions I'm worried about. So I'll just,
You offer Apoc a cookie.
All right, so you're good. So it's now you, Sir Basil, and this one bandit sandwiched between the two of you.
Okay.
And you're kind of good there.
I will.
Yeah, Basil, we're back up to the top.
Let's see.
You just saw Mrs. Q kind of waddle up and you're sort of blinded for a second with this radiant light. You see the bandit that's still up blink as well.
Mhm.
It looks really bad though.
Bathed in pink light, I'm going to use second wind to heal myself first.
Go for it.
Okay. And then I'm going to take a swing at the remaining. Hold on. Oh, so right now there's no bandits in front of me, correct?
There's still one. One of them passed Mrs. Q's radiant. So there's still one that's up, but he's not looking great.
I'm going to
He's
take
the
a,
last one that got run over by a cart.
I'm going to take a swing at that guy.
All right. Go for it.
That's a 16 to hit.
16 definitely hits.
Oh,
All right.
and the damage is wait, 13 damage.
Whoa. 13 damage. Oh yeah. This last guy just crumbles in front of you. And yeah, he just sort of like is still blinking from
The pink light.
Rosemary's light. And then with this stun bandage, actually, just that's how you want to do this since it's the last of your adversaries right now.
I'm sorry, what?
How do you want to do this?
Okay. I need to think is there a cool quote I want to say?
You got to write these down ahead of time.
Yeah. But I just imagine it's like a scene of just like there's this bright pink light, everyone's confused, and in the midst of the confusion, you just see like this little pink mouse just like uppercut swing this fool, just slice him in half.
Perfect. And this bandit just like follows through and just kind of slumps back, sort of lands on Rosemary a little bit and is gone from this world.
Just a spray of like pink blood.
Oh.
All right. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
That is all I can do.
All right. Only because you and Mrs. Q are close enough or even, aware enough. Apoc, you might see this as well, just because you're staring in that direction. The figure on the ground, you just sort of see kind of stir a little bit and reaches one hand out and just tries to pull itself away. You see like one furry ear kind of stick up. All right, Camembert, you are up.
All right, I take the blood from the cut and look at it, say, red delicious, and
Gross.
I look at it like, they say when you mess with one person from Meadowfen, you mess with all of us. And I take my dagger and try and stab back into her. I believe because Dace is there, I could get the sneak attack.
Mm-hmm. So this tree.
Nat 20?
Nat 20!
Oh, shit! All right.
25. So that's the booming blade.
Oh, man.
How are you doing crits?
Sorry, Eric, what did you say?
How are you doing crits?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I didn't think of this. How do I want to do crits?
To do. You can change it next session if you want.
No, that's not true. We'll do for crits. We'll just stay OG. Roll the dice and double it.
7, 14 plus 3, 17. And then if she moves, she'll take more damage.
Yeah, the only movement she's gonna take is to the ground.
Oof.
Ooh. I
So
stab her. I'm gonna say probably in the neck, just trying to like not hit the armor.
Yeah, she's still a little confused as to this tree that hit her last time because she still doesn't actually see you. And she's kind of just having too much fun toying with Dace, and just gets stabbed in the neck and falls to the ground.
So, Mr. Birdfolk, that's how you kill somebody. And the axe is a little big, but that's how you do it.
Oh my gosh, so much shade. I love it. All right. On that note, hey Dace, is there anyone in your vicinity that you might want to attack?
So the Vulcan's dead, right?
Yeah, the Vulpin
Okay.
is slain by.
Am I still in a fit of rage? Yeah, I'm still in a fit of rage, right?
Yes, you are. It will drop
Okay.
if you don't attack anyone this turn.
Yeah. So I would, if you ever, what's the movie with the Hulk and Thor? I think, is it Ragnarok where they're in the arena and
Yeah.
like you just see Hulk just do like a side punch to Thor? Is that the movie? Is that the scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to do that with an unarmed strike. Just be like,
To Camembert?
yeah.
Make that attack roll. So this is your unarmed strike, not with your great axe.
Nope, it's just an armed strike. It's 18.
Oh my goodness.
Does an 18 hit Cam?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So it's just like a little
How much damage?
4.
Okay, so you see Cam get knocked out.
Oh wait, yeah, and then 4. Well, that's
Your
rage,
rage
so
is
it'd be
dinged.
Oh my god.
So here's a question, Dace. Were you going at it with like intent to hurt, or were you?
no,
like,
it
is
was
this
just like
lethal
a
damage, or-
No, I'm
Like,
unconscious. I'm unconscious.
All right,
As I am,
Dace. We're still in combat. So what were you gonna say, Mrs. Q?
no, it's okay. We're still in combat. I'll wait.
Yeah, there is still one bandit left.
Oh, okay.
Dace, are you doing anything else on your turn?
there's one guy left.
There's one guy left. He's on the other side of the road, so he's just like 10 feet to the other side of the road from you.
I guess I'll approach.
Yeah, you have your movement.
Wait, do I send Cam flying, or is it just like a punch and he just falls to the ground?
Cam, did an 18 send you flying?
I'm gonna say the tree fell over.
Okay. The tree fell over right next to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just turn around and I'll just approach the last enemy.
Okay, so you're just gonna get in his face?
Yep.
Great. All right, Apoc, you're up.
Oh man, I'm gonna assume I didn't see Camembert get knocked out because I was just shot at from the other direction, so my attention was probably elsewhere. And oh man, yeah, I'm gonna follow Dace running in and just try and tackle the guy down to the ground.
You're just gonna tackle him down to the ground?
Yeah.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead and, so you're gonna try and grapple him?
Yeah, it would be a grapple first, I believe.
Oh boy, I think you still have to make an attack roll for a grapple. Let me check.
It's in lieu of my attack. It's a strength check, strength contest.
Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead and make a strength check then.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use my athletics.
Great.
So he can contest it with either his strength athletics or dex acrobatics.
He'll try and use his strength as well.
Oof, that's only a 9.
10.
Oof.
So you run in to try and just
Yeah.
grab this guy, and he just kind of is like,
Yeah.
and sidesteps you as you try to do so, just kind of breaking your arms, like breaking the grip on your arms.
Okay, there's still 2 of us right in front of him.
Yeah, so Dace is right in his face, and now you are as well.
Mhm.
He's kind of just looking between the two of you.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything else I can do. So that's it.
All right. All right, so after Apoc is this bandit. He has not been hit yet. So he's gonna kind of see his captain fall and see his comrades who got run over by a horse fall. And he's just kind of gonna weigh his options, and he's going to use his action to disengage and run down the road as fast as he possibly can. So he disengages from you guys, no attack of opportunity, and he is 30 feet away at the end of his turn. Mrs. Q, you are next to, you are up, you're next to tiny little Sir Basil, and you are the only other person to notice the figure that was lying on the ground and got run over extend one arm and try and move themselves out of the way. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
You also see a crumbled tree just off of the road.
Okay, I'm not sure how this would work, but I think I am going to, you see Rosemary sort of again, like she reaches into her apron and pulls out a sprig of some herb that you can't quite see, and whispers something, and some little red berries appear in her hand. And she waddles over, then you tell me if this doesn't work for my turn, because I don't know how it works. Waddles over to the person who's on the ground, who's trying to get up, and passes, I would say, like half of the berries. So 5 of the 10 berries that appeared in her hand, she passes them to this person and says, eat up. This is going to make you feel a lot better. And assuming that the person actually does what she says, then they will receive 5 hit points.
This is the figure on the ground. It's not the tree that crumbled. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you walk up to this figure who's trying to run away, and as you even approach, they're kind of just like, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. And just, you say you're eat up, and you notice this very kind of feline cat-like face with 2 ears, just kind of poking up through a hood. And, you know, you definitely see them holding onto their rib because they got run over by 2 horses and a cart. And there's just this kind of like fear in their eyes. They don't quite take the berries yet, but they're just kind of looking at you, one arm up, one arm holding their rib cage. Please don't hurt me, please.
We definitely don't want to hit you. I apologize for my colleague. He definitely wasn't aiming to hit you, but this is going to make you feel a lot better, and we want to be able to help. Want a cookie?
Yeah.
Get out a cookie.
She'll take the cookie for now. Still unsure about the berries though.
Did she take the berries? Like, does she have the berries? That's what happened.
Not quite yet. She's kind of looking at them, munching on a cookie, wincing in pain, and just doesn't quite trust you just yet, but is approaching there.
Okay, I'll take it.
She just sort of woke up after getting hit by a cart. Keep that in mind. And being attacked by bandits, so some trust issues. Back up to the top, there's still 1 bandit left. He's still close enough, so we'll stay within 1 more round of combat, I think. Basil, what are you gonna do? This last bandit is about 30 feet away from you and just booking it.
Does it take an action to like switch weapons?
No, switch them on the fly.
Okay, I'm gonna so I'm gonna explain kind of like meta just what's going through Basil's mind. He looks at the guy on the ground that Miss Quillam is helping. He sees like in his split judgment, like this was a soul that they were hurting or abusing, not knowing that he ran this creature over. And he just like, his sense of justice is just like, these guys were harming this creature justice must be served. So he drops his sword on the ground, pulls out
His
a longbow. I don't know
Got a
how.
longbow
I
and
don't know how I got one. Yes.
How do you even? Okay.
This little mouse pulls out a longbow. Pulls out a longbow, and using his sword to kind of help steady him, he tries to shoot a bow at this fleeing creature.
I
Go
love
for
the
it.
oversized weapons. So
Yeah.
good.
I know, this is amazing. Like Coon with his glaive.
Another 16.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, is that a D8?
Yes.
And that's 8 damage.
Very nice.
Okay. So this creature gets hit like square in the back of the shoulders as he's running away, and you see him just sort of stumble and actually fall to a knee 30 feet away from you, and it's just like groaning and yelping as this thing pierces right into the middle of his shoulder blades. Still up, but definitely hurts.
Okay. Because I
Wasn't
didn't
part of the plan, just let me run.
use my movement, can I use my movement to get right up at them? I can move 30 feet. So
Yeah, if you want to move 30 feet, you can get up to him.
okay, I'll do that, but then I can't do anything. Nothing there.
Oh, you're just in his face.
Yeah.
All right.
This little mouse kind of like out of space.
Camembert.
Do you like? 17 for the death save.
One success.
There you go.
Dear God, don't make me kill you in the first episode, Eric.
Wasn't you? It wasn't you at all. That's my turn.
All right, one success for Camembert. Dace, you are up.
Is the guy that's running, like, because I was approaching the one guy, is he running away?
Yeah, so you were in his face. Apoc was in his face. He disengaged and started booking it. And you just saw him take an arrow to the back. And this little Jerving just sort of like brushes past your feet as he runs and is now face to face with this kneeling Apoc who's trying to flee.
Is he 30 feet away from me, or?
Yeah, he's 30 feet away from you. So if your movement is 30 feet, you can get there.
Yeah, could I? Yeah, I'll take my movement speed towards him, and then I'll pull out a great axe, and I'll take a swipe at him.
Go for it.
15.
Yeah, that hits.
Hey.
Pardon?
Am I in a rage? Am I still in
your
rage,
did
or
not
yeah?
drop. You're still raging. So whatever bonus you get.
And 12.
12? Oh yeah. How do you want to do this, Dace?
Okay, so I'm like literally like I don't know how an owl runs, but he's running, and I go, "Here comes Dace!"
Somebody get a gif about an owl running. Go.
And then I like pull out my great axe, and I just just wipe at his, try to take off his head.
All right. Right before you do that, since he can't see you coming up, and right before you hear, or right before he hears, "Here comes Dace," he kind of looks right into your eyes, Sir Basil, and he looks at you and he's like, "We're on the same side here. The bird folk are the enemy." And then Dace takes off his head. Yeah, that's the one. With that, we're out of combat, but we still have a party member unconscious, so let's take a break and leave it on a cliffhanger, and we'll be back. All right, so we're back on the road. We still have one unconscious tree. Mrs. Q is currently tending to the figure that was run over by the cart. And what are the rest of you guys doing? We're out of initiative, but I'm still gonna kind of keep track of your actions because you still have someone unconscious. So, Apoc, Dace.
Yeah, I'd like to run over to where Camembert was.
Okay.
Um,
You see a tree that has fallen,
Yeah.
and the more you look, you kind of see Cam's face.
I don't have anything, so I'm just going to start frantically searching through either the Vulpin or Camembert if there's anything in there that I could recognize to be like healing in nature.
Cam, do you have anything healing in nature on you?
No.
All right. You're looking through the Vulpin just super quickly. I mean, you note that she has some studded leather armor. She has a very finely crafted short sword. There's a really interesting like insignia on the pommel.
Can it be like as I'm unconscious and like Apoc is pouring over the Vulpin and like when he like is searching through the studded leather armor, I just dibs.
Oh, absolutely. So you just hear dibs coming from Camembert, but you find 10 gold pieces, you find a map.
Any like potions or anything. That's all I'm searching for frantically.
Nothing on her.
All right, I just pound on his chest.
I
Try and wake him up.
I said,
Are you trying to do CPR or
Yeah,
something?
like a Heimlich or
Okay,
like
make a
something
medicine.
just to like
Make a medicine roll.
get air into his lungs again. That was a 14 and then it moved to a 7.
7.
-7.
No.
Oh.
Oh man, okay. You pound on his chest to try and get air into his lungs. I mean, he's still unconscious. You just missed the mark.
I turning from my one patient, I say, I'll be right back, dear, and I waddle over. And I look at Dace, and I look down at the tree on the ground.
Yeah, Dace is out here.
Sorry, I'm not keeping track. Well, I look over my shoulder at Dace, who's all the way over there, and I look down, and I pull out the 5 remaining berries that I have, and I pull them into his mouth and sort of make him chew. And that's 5 hit points. So hopefully you wake up. I'm assuming that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are now awake, Cam, and you have some, I don't know, do they taste sweet or sour, Mrs. Q? You're good berries.
Kind of like a red currant. That's kind of how I imagine them. So tart, but in a pleasant way.
You are pleasantly awoken from your unconscious state, Cam.
Thanks, Mrs. Quillam. I really appreciate it. You really are a leader in the community.
I just like smile and hand him a cookie.
When you look down, I'm already holding the cookie, and you don't know how I got it.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Dace and oh no, it's gonna take me a second. Basil, Sir Basil, you two are standing over this corpse. Are you doing anything in this 6 seconds?
I guess I can loot him. Do I find anything of value on the beheaded enemy?
On the beheaded enemy, you do find some worn leather armor. Kind of looks like it doesn't quite fit them properly. It's definitely pilfered. They do have a short sword. This guy had both a short sword and a short bow on him.
Okay.
Doesn't look like it's well cared for. There's definitely chips in the sword. Again, it looks like it's something that has seen a lot of use, like many hands have held it. And you do find 1 coin purse with 5 gold pieces inside.
Sweet.
So I'll leave it up to you. Just take what you want, add it to your inventory. If you're sharing it with Basil, I mean, don't duplicate them. That's all.
Basil.
I'll just be like, hey, there's a bow and a short sword over here if you want it. Hoping to persuade him to come into my direction.
Mhm. In addition to that one dude, I guess there's the 3 others that we cut down. Can we search those guys as well?
Yeah, if you just want to leave that one beheaded guy to Dace and go and search the other 3. They each do have a coin purse of 5 gold pieces, so you find 15 gold pieces total. And they all have more or less the same equipment. So like ill-fitted leather armor, short swords, 3 short swords with like chips taken out of them. One of them is missing like the pommel. And a few short bows, 3 short bows, 1 for each of them. One of them, unfortunately, did not make being rammed by a cart. So you have 2 full, 1 snapped.
Okay. Do we notice in searching them like any like insignias or anything in terms of how they're dressed that would show like, oh, they're probably part of this type of gang or anything like that?
So Kara gave you a little bit of an inkling that these roads are dangerous with bandits. And being citizens of Humblewood, you do know that there is a bandit menace that has become more and more active recently. They fly under the banner of the Bandit Coalition. And if you had to guess, these guys are probably part of that, just considering that their armor was clearly not made for them at all. It's ill-fitting, it looks very worn, and it looks like they were just sort of outfitted hastily.
Okay.
Apoc, if you are going to, now that Camembert's awake, I don't know what you want to do, but knowing that you took a quick look through the Vulpin's equipment, you did notice that there was a rose insignia on the pommel of her sword.
Okay. I'll grab the sword, I'll grab the money, bring it out to the group. Like, hey guys, there's some stuff here. I'm assuming Camembert has taken the armor already.
No, I'm still kind of like waking up. So.
All right, I start unhooking the armor as well. I pull my arrow out from the bodice, and I requiver it for later. Do I recognize this rose at all? Like, is it nobility?
Give me a history check.
Oof.
It's not a high.
17, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Hey.
There's been some rumor. I mean, you only kind of know because you sort of pay attention a little bit to the people who pass through Meadowfen and Marshview. But the rose on the pommel is very common of captains in the Bandit Coalition.
Gotcha.
So any bandit who's in the coalition will recognize this insignia as a captain's sword.
Okay. Great. Anybody want this? I think it's pretty cool, pretty high rank stuff. Like, if you want to pass as a bandit, might be our ticket in.
Eric, did you character a rogue?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're able to? What's the term?
Like disguise?
Yeah. So would it?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go with how much disguises stuff, but
Okay.
don't like if you want to do disguises or if you want to like don't feel free. Like I'm not.
No, I'm just trying to think who would actually be able to use the sword because I don't think Rosemary would take it.
Apart from the rose itself, like it's still just a short sword, long
It's just
sword.
a short sword. I mean, it's more of a well-made short sword compared to the other bandits. And you know that the rose is just the symbol of a captain.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who's carrying it, but if a bandit sees it, it's likely that they will think you are a captain in the coalition.
Apoc, you can hang on to it, and it doesn't sound like.
Nope, not my kind of thing. You take it.
You guys. Okay.
I prefer to stay out of trouble.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm gonna just throw it into the cart.
Okay, you throw it into the cart.
Yeah, good idea. They didn't have a cart with them, did they?
So there is a cart on the road. It seemed like the bandits were kind of looking through it when when you interrupted them. So it is still there. And particularly Sir Basil and Dace, as you're kind of pilfering through the bodies that are still on the road, you notice this cat folk kind of just sitting up, still sort of holding her ribs and just sort of watching you all.
Well, how far away is this cat folk person?
Well, you ran them over with the cart.
Oh,
So,
okay,
so they're like, 5 feet away from you.
okay. So this is the guy that you healed.
Yeah, I think it's a lady cat.
Okay.
I think she said.
I walk over.
I mean, as you walk over, she just kind of like tries to scoot away a little bit. And then she winces and holds her chest again.
I like cautiously hold my little hands out as I'm kind of say like, I come in peace. And I kind of like slowly walk closer and I say, fair feline.
Boy.
What do I say?
Only 10 on the charm. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm ashamed of what I have done to you. I ask for your humble forgiveness, and I just kind of like approach, like as like an almost extending an olive branch type thing to this person.
Were you the one who killed the bandits, or are you a bigger problem? I just want to take my cart and go, man.
You are more than free to take your cart. We have what's the word? Dispatched? Wait, dispatched?
Dispatch.
We have dispatched the bandits. But before you go, please tell us what happened. Why were they harassing you?
Well, oh my gosh, my chest hurts. Feels like I've been hit by a cart or something. If you're the one that killed these guys, I mean, they're bandits. I'm a merchant. That's my cart. I was on my way to Alderheart just to set up shop. And then they just sort of leapt out of the side of the road, and I don't know, it kind of just went gray after that.
Were they looking for anything specific from you?
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you if they took anything from my cart.
Please, yes.
And she kind of goes to get up, realizes she can't quite make it to her feet. And
To support her.
she's just gonna kind of like hold up a hand, take a deep breath, and is actually gonna cast Healing Word on herself. So she is feeling a little bit better. You see there's just a little shimmer of just some green energy kind of wrap itself around her chest and shimmer there for a second. And she's just gonna kind of slowly get on her feet. Now she kind of looks at you from her full height now and looks down at you. She's just gonna say, you have a cool scar. I can see it when I was on the ground. It's cool.
Sir Basil kind of like goes quiet a little bit and just kind of like under his breath says, thank you.
And she's just gonna kind of walk over to her cart and just start shuffling around and kind of sees off to the side everyone around, the fallen Vulpin and Camembert, and is just gonna kind of keep shuffling. And it all seems to be here.
Well, as she's doing that, Sir Basil starts to like fidget with his helmet to try and like see if his scar is covered. But anyways, that's just a side thing.
That's great. Love it. She just kind of, it all seems to be here. And you guys okay over there? Addressing you and Mrs. Q and Camembert. You good?
Oh, yes. Most definitely.
Oh, you gave me the cookie. That was really nice.
Well, I made it myself.
It was really good. I guess I should thank you guys then.
Just worth mentioning that we are on our way to the same place that you are. if you think it would be safe to travel in a
she's off
group.
to Elderheart.
I thought that's where we were going
We're
to
going
tell
to
them.
Ashboro.
I thought we were going to Elderheart to tell
No,
the
we're going to Alderheart.
This sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Right.
We're going the same direction. If you want some company, it might be safer that way.
Offer up a bit of protection.
I mean, you guys took care of these guys? Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm Eliza. I'm Eliza. Checks notes. Penny Gleam.
Allows a penny green.
Penny Green.
Penny Gleam.
You can call me Apoc.
Apoc?
Am I close to her as well?
Yep. Okay, so you're Apoc, and the rest of you are.
Okay. Chewing on the cookie.
Hi, Form. I'm Eliza.
You want to do this?
I miss Quillam.
I'm Mrs. Quillam.
And then Sir Basil trying to be all like knightly, kind of like takes their hand and like on one knees, all just like, and I am Sir Basil.
She has to stoop a little to let you
And,
go
and,
down on one
doesn't,
knee.
like kisses her hand, but by doing it, kind of like holds her down to like reach.
And as Dace, I'm just like, yes.
There's-
As like a barbarian thing to do. Dace.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be great. If you're traveling to Alderheart, that would be awesome. I mean, I love when you can tell that someone's talking to their fans.
Yeah.
I know Winnowing Reach is like not too far away, but I don't know. Did you guys want to like make a camp for tonight then, or continue on? We might not make it there until tomorrow.
Are you feeling up for it? Or do you need a bit of a rest?
I mean, I could always use a rest. Again, my ribcage really hurts. Oh, buddy.
She's such a shut up.
Sounds like there are wolves in the forest nearby. We should move along.
If I remember correctly, we said that we were close to one town.
That's what she was just saying.
You're
So
very close to Winnowing Reach.
Okay.
But it was about a day's travel and then you kind of got interrupted.
Sure.
So the sun is getting a little bit low. It's like early evening now, looking more and more like you might have to spend a night on the road.
Okay.
So we're not at Winnowing Reach yet. We're almost there.
You're almost there.
Gotcha.
You're almost there.
Yeah, let's rest.
okay.
Am I able to get the armor off? And,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. So
what-
you have studded leather armor.
Hey, Apoc,
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
are you okay if I take this? This looks like it might fit me better than it fits you.
It's all yours.
There's one thing I was wondering. Since you put a hole kind of right mid chest, could you like tinker me up something? Maybe like a little like glowy light to go right there.
I can give it a shot for sure.
Cool.
Might have to get some equipment, but
Yeah, but I'll like maybe think about what you could do and kind of patch that up.
Let's do it.
Slightly
Iron Man
moving
thing.
it.
I was just gonna say it's Iron Man. That's
hey, Eliza, what do you got in the back there?
I mean, it's just some basic tools. I don't have a lot now, but I was gonna meet someone in Alderheart who had more cool things for me. But like, come take a look if you want.
Yeah, let's see. So we know what we're hauling.
Yeah, so you go and look in the back of Eliza's cart, and it is more utility than anything for right now. So things like oil lamps or bedrolls, or if you wanted some daggers or hunting knives, she does have them. Is there anything specific you wanted to look for?
How much oil does she have? I got an idea for Mr. Camembert.
I mean, right now they're all in a couple lanterns, but I guess, you know, if you want, we can empty the lanterns of the oil and I can just get more in Alderheart.
They have
if you have a couple flasks, I can put them in. Just maybe
Yeah.
2 or 3 doses.
Yeah, they're like right there.
Cool. I got an idea, Cam.
Yeah, all yours. Let's see what you can do.
What if, and hear me out, it might take a bit of time, but I'm thinking like a little spring-loaded mechanism that if anybody gets too close to you, it just shoots out a bit of oil on them. And either they gotta wipe it off, or like it gets them all slick, they can't run. But if you're quick enough, you could light them on fire.
I love it.
Yeah.
We'd have to refill it, but I think I could, rig it up.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Are you attempting to do that now or?
Why not? We got the tools.
Okay. Yeah. Are you guys, here's a question. Are you guys just taking a short rest and moving on? Or is this something like, are you going to camp here for the night, or what's the plan before we get too far into this?
What does
I
everyone
mean,
think?
if it's getting dark, we probably need to make camp for the night and plan to set off early in the morning.
You have maybe like 2 or 3 hours left of sunlight before it gets dark. So it's up to you if you want to just stay here, travel for the next couple hours, stay there. You won't reach Winnoning Reach tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like we can do 2 more hours. If we camp here, we got 4 dead bodies around us.
Good point.
Stinking up the place.
And if that is the group's opinion, then I think we should have Eliza sit in the back of one of the carts and not expect her to drive if she's not 100%.
And just to be clear, her cart that she has is a hand cart, so she pulls it herself.
See? People do pull carts.
Is there a way that we can fashion it so that it's attached to our cart? So it's 2 horses, our cart, and then her cart?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll travel a little slower, pulling. Sorry, Dace, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, could we just take one of the horses or the ponies and fashion it to the other cart?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to make anyone roll for this. It's just a matter of switching horses or tying a cart. You'll move a little bit slower, but you have 2 carts and an extra person. So
What do we think? Two carts or just a train?
Do we have a person who's proficient at driving carts?
I am. I mean, I vehicles and land. I think that's.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you have Dace who's good at vehicles, and you have Sir Basil who's good at animal handling. And I'm not going to make any more rolls for this. You're just traveling along the road.
Okay.
I'll
So
just
we
push it. I mean, not push it. I'll just.
tie the other horse to
I don't know.
Or you want to pull it yourself?
Well, how big? So the cart that has the 2 ponies, is it a big cart since there's 2 ponies carrying it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe just then keep the 2 ponies on the single cart, and then I'll just hand pull Penny's cart.
Perfect. Yeah. So, I mean, you make it another 2 hours. The sun has started to go down. You're away from the 4 dead bodies. And I mean, most of you, well, you know the area really well, Apoc and Cam. You're pretty close to Winnoning Reach. You can probably reach it late morning tomorrow. But this seems like a good a place as any to make camp. So you shaved off a couple more hours. So you go and make camp for the night, and you're trying to make a spring-loaded.
Yes, maybe not a spring, but if he has a little hole already in the middle, it would make more sense just have a little nozzle hooked up to it, where he either squeezes it. Yeah, it's not something anything complex. So
It's almost like the Joker's flower that shoots out.
exactly, yeah. But it's hooked up to a flask of oil instead.
Sounds good.
Okay.
What do I need to do?
Okay, first of all, You'll find whatever you need in Eliza's cart or on your person. So if you need like a little flask or if you need,
I do have an oil flask, but I wanted to grab one first. Didn't want to use mine.
yeah, that's fair.
I have one too, so you could use mine.
Oh, you have one too? Yeah.
She's okay with you guys. I mean, you seem cool.
Yeah.
Basil seems really cool, if not a little odd. But yeah, she's okay with you taking stuff from her cart if you need to. Okay. Are you doing this on your own, or Camembert, are you gonna try and assist?
I'm gonna cheer you on, but I have no idea how any of this works. So do whatever you need to do.
Are you proficient with Tinker's tools?
Yes.
Okay. Make a D20 roll.
Yeah.
Plus your dex, plus
Okay.
your proficiency.
Perfect. Okay, it's a 15.
A 15.
11 plus 4.
So you have this studded leather breastplate in front of you. And I don't exactly know what it is you're going for, but you fashion some sort of little vial compartment that you can barely see. It almost looks like a little metal rivet as part of the studded leather. You just kind of fashion this little thing, and you realize that you have some fabric that makes a really good kind of like little stopper. So it will only spray out one way, and it's not going to douse your friend in oil. And yeah, it looks good. I guess you won't know if it works until you try it, but it looks good.
Perfect.
Cool.
I'll have to remember this recipe right on one of those logs.
For your board logs, this would be
Yeah.
This would be great entry. Get that content going.
I know. You should like and subscribe.
I think
I call it my blog.
your board log. Yeah, blog. It's a lot shorter, easier to get to.
Yeah, I think blog's a better way to market it.
Yeah. Do you have like a membership, like where I can like pledge for like a couple months at a time?
Maybe. I mean, that's a good idea.
Make some money that way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, speaking of money, right? I got 10 gold off that chick before.
Finders keepers.
You want to? Yeah.
Possessions 9/10. That
All
kind of
right. Here, Eliza, for the oil. Here, take one of these golds.
Oh, awesome. Thanks.
Take one. I'll hold on to the rest, but I'm fine sharing.
Are we camping for the night?
Yes, so you are camping for the night. You have a fire going. I mean, you all have your bedrolls, you have your carts. If there's anything anyone wanted to do or talk about or sing or anything like that.
Well, once we get the fire going, I turn to Basil and I say, well, young man, seeing as your little stunt
Young
caused my
man.
potatoes to fly all over the cart, I expect a little bit of help with dinner. And I make him collect all the potatoes that like flew everywhere in the cart because of your...
You can see when she calls him young man that his ears kind of like pointed upward. That he kind of like doesn't really like that you called him young man.
Well,
But
dear, you are.
then you see him kind of. Why, of course, Mr. Quillam. A knight only longs to serve.
Okay.
And he goes in.
What stunt are you talking about with a cart?
Oh, you know, tight turn earlier on.
Sounds pretty cool.
While picking up potatoes, thinking about what the bandit had said to Basil before having his head beautifully sliced off.
Like a deli meat.
Basil turns to what's his name?
Me?
The feline?
Oh, Eliza.
Eliza, and asks, so do you recall at all the bandits saying anything in particular to you or to one another? Something that stood out.
Me? Eliza?
Mhm.
Do I recall the bandits saying anything? I mean, I don't know. Here's what I remember. It was like the afternoon, the mid-afternoonish, and I was just pulling my cart. I was coming from Marshview, and there's not a lot of places to hide on this road. I'm sure you could tell because, you know, we're surrounded by swamp. But I don't know, they picked that little stand of saplings and I didn't even see it coming. They just kind of like whacked me on the back of the head and I crumbled. And I know they took my gold purse or my coin purse. And I know they were rifling in the back of my cart, but everything still seemed to be there. So you must have come not too long after that. I don't remember anything else.
Do I get the sense that she's being honest, like truthful, or is she holding something back?
Make an insight check.
Let's play insight. That's 22.
Holy smokes. Yeah, she's having this conversation and with you, and as she's talking, you kind of notice that she just sort of like almost absent-mindedly reaches up to the back of her head, kind of like, you know, scratches at her ear a little bit. Seems like that's where she might have gotten hit. But you get the sense that she's telling you the truth.
Seeing that and being able to tell that, I just kind of lean over and ask, "Are you okay?" Like pointing at her where she was scratching her head.
Well, I mean, I got hit in the back of the head with something. And like, again, I just, maybe it's just I need a good night's sleep. I know they kicked me a couple times, but I just feel, hurt.
Well, then a good night's sleep is what you will get. And you see me kind of like, kind of pat her on the arm, wherever, shoulder, wherever I can reach, just lightly with my small mouse hand. And I wish her good night, and I go back to picking potatoes.
Night.
Once the food is done, I make some kind of stew with all of the root vegetables. And as I pass it along and I go to Eliza and I give her a bowl and I say that it's nice and warm, it's going to make you feel so much better, I promise. And I throw 3 of my remaining berries in there.
Awesome.
And then as I walk along and I'm handing out the bowls to everyone, I give everyone a little pat on the head, except Cam. As I'm walking along, I give him a bowl and I just tut because he's still got mud all over his face. And I just take the edge of my apron and I'm like, seriously, you are too old to be playing in the mud. And then I move on.
Okay, well, and I snap my fingers and like the mud starts to dissolve away as I press to digitate the dirt away.
Amazing.
Nice.
Sorry, I forgot. I don't have a mirror.
Oh, I have one. It's in the back of the cart.
I said
Especially
I
good idea because
don't
we
have
were
a-
covered in mud for a while.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Quillam. Are you? I never really asked at all the times in the market. Are you okay that I call you Mrs. Q?
Absolutely, dear. It's perfectly fine with me.
Okay, I've just kind of just looked up to you as a steady figure in Meadowfen and just got a little too comfortable and didn't mind my respect for elders. So thank you so much.
No problem. Now eat.
Okay.
Dace, Apoc, is there anything else you wanted to do before turning in for the night?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Dace stoically eats as Miss Quillam tells him to eat. All right, so what is the plan for camping overnight? Are you setting up watches? Any protective spells? Is there anything you guys are doing before going to sleep?
I'll take first watch if we're doing watches.
I think we should definitely do a watch. I'll take second, I guess, if we're breaking it up.
You can do third.
Okay. All right, so who is taking the first watch? Sorry, it's Dace. Just Dace. All right. So everyone else.
Yep. Sorry.
No, what were you gonna say, Dennis?
Oh, I was just gonna say, would I still be considered doing a long rest or a short rest if I'm doing all watch?
Oh, no, you'll all get your long rest. Like long rest just sort of accounts for the fact that there will be watches.
Yeah.
So you'll all get a long rest.
Okay.
All right, so first watch. Everyone else is asleep. You're kind of sitting alone by the fire. Go ahead and make a perception check.
All right. 8.
8. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not on the ball tonight.
That's okay. It is really dark on your watch. Funny how the night gets like that sometimes. You're kind of in an area where you're more or less surrounded by swampland at this point. You're not so much in the swamp proper, so the dangers of the swamp are not so present. You can kind of hear them over the flat kind of plains to your right, to the south. But it's not exactly forested here. So if something was coming, you'd probably see it, but it's dark. Is there anything you wanted to do on your watch?
Nope. Just huddle around the fire. I might take a few laps around in like a close proximity, maybe like 5 or 10 feet. But then, yeah.
All right, so your watch comes to an end. Nothing happened. You're taking second watch.
Mhm.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I do just want to say that during this watch, I'm trying to carve the instructions of how I made Camembert's chess piece into one of the nearby trees. So
Okay.
whether that factors into how much I'm paying attention on this watch, I'll leave you to judge.
It's just gonna be a little harder check. Go
Okay.
ahead.
That's a 16.
16.
Yeah, 13 plus 3.
All right, even though you are very focused on carving this instruction into one of the nearby saplings, and it is very sparse here now. It's not like a grouping like there was
Yeah.
before. You maybe have one sapling like 15 feet on the other side of the road, few feet off the road, so you get a little muddy.
And it's a very crude drawing. It basically amounts to just looking like a t-shirt with like a little line and an arrow pointing to the middle of it and just the vial.
Awesome.
Fucking amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Take an inspiration from that. 'Cause that's
All
really cute. Even though you're distracted, and yeah, like it's still really dark. You just have the fire and then it's dark forever in this like flatter expanse of the swamp. At one point you do hear a howl and you kind of like look away from your work that had absorbed you and you realize, all right, maybe I should finish up and just go back to the others, but your watch passes. Who is taking last watch?
That was me.
Camembert.
For my watch, I'm gonna find like a higher part of land. It might even just be like a little bump. And because of like a meerkat folk, I'm gonna just be like, take this job super serious and like just stand there and focus for everything that I can. Or just like just looking around watching the entire watch.
I absolutely love this. Okay, you can definitely find a giant boulder, maybe like 5 feet off the road. And yeah, it's not much taller than the road itself, but yeah, you can stand on here and you are just
Focused. Which works because I got a 19 to my perception.
amazing. Yeah, you are, it's not as dark. Apoc said it was really dark out here, but you feel like you can see everything. And you hear a twig snap and you're just aware. But your watch passes just fine. Near the dawn, though, as the sun starts to rise in the east, it is the direction you're going, so you're not certain if you see it as clearly as you think you do, but it almost looks like there's some sort of red, embery kind of glow. But everyone does get a long rest.
Yay. The red embery glow is to
East.
East.
So it is in the direction that you're sort of traveling, but you can see it, and you know that you shouldn't actually be able to see Winnoning Reach right now. But you definitely see something. Is it the sun? Hard to tell. But everyone wakes up. Eliza kind of gets up. I absolutely needed that sleep. I don't know if you guys are feeling better, but I'm feeling really good. Still a little sore though. But what are you gonna do? I have these weird bruises right here. Almost looks like there's like hoof prints. Maybe that's where they kicked me.
Yeah.
So Basil kind of like, shall we be off then? As he throws his stuff into the cart.
I'm giving you so many opportunities to come clean with this, and you're not taking any of them, and I love it. All right. So you guys start loading the carts and are preparing to take off? Great. So however you were holding the carts before, Eliza's still on board and is kind of enjoying the journey now that she has some company. She's sort of talking your ear off a bit, Apoc. Now that Camembert, are you wearing this armor?
Yep.
Camembert?
Yep.
Now that you're wearing this armor and she can kind of see sort of what you did, she's talking your ear off and just like, what'd you do? How'd you do that? That's cool.
Well, I mean, you just gotta imagine it. Put a little thought behind it and then think around. You can figure it out eventually.
Yeah, that's neat. I like that.
It just takes practice.
Does it work?
I hope so.
What's it supposed to do again?
Hey Cam, test it out.
As I look down, I push the front of the thing and like spray into my face. Yeah, it works. Prestidigitation, clean it up, and then pour some more oil into it.
Amazing, amazing.
Good job. Apoc, you're the best.
I tried.
All right. Everyone make a perception check for me as you're traveling.
Seven.
20.
6.
9.
15.
Okay. Strangely, even though Camembert and Apoc are the ones having the conversation with Eliza, and maybe Cam, because you know to watch out for it, that ember glow, that was not the sun. As you're approaching it,
Basil rolled the 20.
oh, Basil rolled the 20. Sorry, Basil. Basil, you notice it as well as you. Just up ahead, you do see this kind of orangey, embery kind of glow. And you start to notice, why didn't you notice this before? The saplings that sort of scattered this area, they're burnt, newly burnt. Like you smell soot as you're traveling.
I kind of slow the horses down a bit and standing up in the cart because I'm still not tall enough that I need to stand up to talk to you guys. I say, what do I say? I believe there's trouble ahead. I smell, what do I say? I smell destruction in the air. And I kind of like point to the burnt saplings along the road.
Yeah, and as you say this and you look out towards that ember glow, oh man, that ember glow is getting a little bit closer and closer
Oh no.
and closer.
Guys, the city.
And as it comes into view for the rest of you, and you can start to see them as individuals, you notice that it is just a swarm, 2 swarms, it's huge, of these strange, glowing, fiery bats. And everyone needs to roll initiative for the second time.
Ooh.
And I desperately need to put my hair back.
You want a thing?
No, I'm
While Andrea is gone, I noticed D&D Beyond has a thing for cart storage. So if you want, I can keep track of whatever you want to put in the cart.
Oh, sweet.
Cool.
That way you don't have to hold on to everything.
Is that new?
Yeah, I think it just loaded up this week.
I see like backpack, chest, and equipment are like all separate now.
You can also make containers, so I could create carts. So,
Cool. That's really cool.
That's awesome. All right. So what do we have for initiatives here? 25 to 20. 20 or 15 to 20.
17.
18.
18.
Ooh.
Dace, and then we have Sir Basil. 10 to 15.
13.
Cam,
10.
what's your dexterity?
So 15 plus 2.
And who's left? Is it just Mrs. Q?
Yeah, she rolled a 6.
Okay.
Eric's gonna clear.
That's
Yeah.
Curse of the Cleric. All right. Dace, you are up first. You notice these two swarms of these glowing ember bats coming towards you, and you realize very quickly that you are standing on a wooden cart. What do you do? The closer and closer that they get, you start to feel the air get a little bit hotter. Dace, this is you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if you could hear me or not.
I don't know if it's my sound, but like it could just be my AirPods, but like it's some are like the sound is going off and on.
Oh, weird.
I'm not. But from what I heard, it's that they're in the distance.
They are coming towards you. They are, one round away from descending on you. Two swarms of these ember bats, and the air is getting hot.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
When you say swarm, what does that mean in terms of quantity?
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot, eh? Could I just brace myself? I don't have to take an action turn, correct? I can just brace myself, like prepare for an attack.
Absolutely, you can hold your action until there's something to hit.
Okay.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Or take, there's, so Dennis, if you look at, where is it? If you look at like actions that you can do in combat, can you prepare to dodge, or is it only prepare an attack?
The dodge action is you're gonna you're trying to try and dodge your whole turn.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, you can prepare an attack and let it trigger when something comes in hitting range if you want.
Yeah, for sure. Then I'll prepare an attack since I'm carrying the cart. I'll drop the cart and like take out my great axe, and prepare to strike.
Awesome.
And then that's my turn.
So when something comes in range, you're gonna smack it. Perfect. So Basil, you are up. You have 1 round to prepare yourself.
Yeah. Now because Dace has dropped his cart, we're not fleeing. So I guess I completely pull my cart to a stop. And I will do, oh geez, it's a swarm though. There's lots of them. Okay, help me paint the picture. So we see a swarm of fire bats flying at us. Beyond them, we just see like a fiery town? Like it's just like some inferno type thing, or?
So you're still too far away to see Winnoning Reach. So you from that knowledge that you've only been traveling for maybe like an hour, and Winoni Reach was a little farther away, the bats probably haven't hit the town, although you're not 100% sure about that. But yes, there are 2 swarms of ember bats that are descending on you. They've noticed you as prey and are hoping to have a quick breakfast.
Okay.
A little snack.
Or snack.
Just amongst the team, is it worth trying to get the cart and book it past the bats? Or because Dace dropped his cart, do now pull the cart over
That was such a big sneeze.
and attack, or and wait to attack? What does everyone think?
Sorry, I couldn't hear that over the sneeze.
So
Sorry.
So my thinking is I could do one of 2 things. I could either like kick the horses into gear and we just try and book it past these bats.
Yeah, but I'm carrying the cart. So,
Well, you're carrying one of the carts.
yeah, but I don't think I can go.
Behind.
Yeah, I don't think I can go.
Yeah,
past that too, so-
or because you stopped, do I pull the other cart over and I just like kind of brace for this impending impact?
Would Basil leave a man behind?
You're right.
He's mad about that.
Yeah. Okay, so I pull this, seeing that's a heroic move to like take a stance against this oncoming enemy. I pull the horses over and I stand up and I with my oh geez. Yeah, I guess with my great sword, I like hold my action too.
Yes, you can hold your action until there's something hittable, for sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Right. Camembert.
Apoc,
Yeah,
you know I trust you, right?
of course.
You know I have the utmost confidence in your abilities and skills.
Yeah.
I do want to say I'm thinking strapping oil to my chest might not have been the smartest thing.
You can empty it if you want.
I appreciate it, but I gotta go. I'll pop the cart and start running.
You can maybe switch it for water.
That's a great idea. I like jump off, run like 10 feet, plant myself, and pull out my water skin, waiting for the bats if need be to spray them as they come by.
All right, amazing. So you're 10 feet in front of the cart, it's like
Behind
10 feet
it,
further. Behind, okay. Probably a good choice. Damn it, I was hoping to do something with that.
I know.
All right, you're holding your action with the water gun. Apoc.
Oh man, I was thinking about that too in hindsight. Oil plus fire campaign, not good.
Yeah.
It's like 2020, you know.
Apoc's just gonna get to the front because he would have saw the bats coming with Sir Basil driving it, and from the front of the cart just pull out his longbow, knock an arrow, and shoot at the swarm of bats heading towards us.
Make an attack roll. There are 2 swarms. They're
The one on the right.
together. You're aiming for the one on the right.
Yeah, just to make it easy.
Thank you.
Oh, Jesus, that was teetering between a 1 and a 13. It landed on the 13. So that's a 17 to hit.
Yeah, you hit.
All right. For max damage 10.
10?
8 plus 2.
All right. So you see, oh man, no. Nope, that's wrong. There. You see Apoc stand up, have this quick exchange with Cam, shoot an arrow through the swarm on the right, and as it goes through, it hits like 3 of the bats in rapid succession, and they fall. Not as much as you thought it was going to hit, considering you're a pretty good shot, but you definitely got a few of them.
Okay.
One thing you do notice as they fall, they're actually made of matter. They're not made of flame.
Okay.
But they do have these cute little noses that have a little fire coming out of it. But they are made of matter.
Okay.
So that's Apoc's turn. Mrs. Q, what are you doing to prepare?
I am curling up.
Awesome. Take your action to curl up. That's amazing.
Yep.
You'll have to remind me what it does if it comes up, okay?
Okay.
And Eliza is going to just watch you all do stuff, and it's going to be like, I'll take care of you from like 60 feet away. I can see, and I'll just bring you back if, I can help, but from back there. So she's going to jump off the cart and is just going to run 30 feet, kind of past you, Camembert. And it's just going to kind of wait. And you see that she has this little pouch that she's digging through as she runs past you and is kind of pulling things out, getting them ready. Back up at the top, Dace.
How close are the fire bats now?
So the bats have moved to within like 10 feet of you guys.
10 feet? Okay. Am I capable enough to jump and I guess try to attack it?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
You're just gonna jump from the cart straight up and straight down, or are you gonna get a leap
Yeah.
off the cart? Okay.
I'll do a leap off.
A leap off the cart?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You raise your great axe and take a running jump to try and smack at these swarms that are just starting to kind of circle, and the air is hot here. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
18.
Yeah, absolutely hits. Are you hitting the left one or the right one?
I'll take the left one.
All right, roll some damage.
And it is 10.
10 damage. You strike through this swarm, and even though you're not looking, because it's kind of like searing your feathers as you get really, really close, you knock down like 3 of them as you swing. Weird that they're made of matter when they're just burning things, but you do catch them. Not as much as you thought, but you do catch them. Are you doing anything else on your turn? Just a heads up, Dennis, as well. You can rage before you attack. I forgot.
Oh, can I? Oh, okay. No, that's everything. As long as I end up close to the cart, so I can protect the cart in case they try to attack the cart or light it on fire, stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I envision you just kind of taking a step up, swiping and landing like a foot away from the cart. You're right next to it. You're on the ground now, but you are right next to the cart.
Sounds good.
Okay. Sorry, are you raging or are you?
Nope. That's
Sir Basil. It's very, very, very hot.
Yeah. I'm going to try and do similar thing as him. So jumping up, and I picture it almost as like, if you can remember like the Star Wars movies when Yoda's fighting, it's just flipping and just like spinning like crazy. That's me. I jump up and I'm just like spinning, trying to like hit these bats.
Make an attack roll.
Okay.
Are you hitting the right or the left?
Dace just hit the right.
He just hit the left. Apoc hit the right. So they've both been damaged.
Okay. I'll go for the left as well.
The left. Great. Go for it.
16.
Yep, that hits. Damage.
Jeez, that's terrible. So that's 4 damage.
All right. Yeah, you're still taking them out one by one, but you're taking them out. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Yeah, similar to Daz, I moved back to the cart, or close to like the horses in the cart.
Great. Okay. Protecting the cart. Cam, you're up. We cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. As I'm kind of positioned there with my water skin, I think for my action, I'm going to just kind of focus on damage control. So if anything lights up on fire, I'm going to just with my little water skin spray it to put it out to to keep our carts safe.
Amazing. Okay, great.
Mhm.
Apoc.
Apoc's gonna stand up, look at the swarm that he just shot at, kind of wave his hands in the air. Hey, come get me! Come get me! Don't come to the cart. Come over here, and I'm just gonna run over towards away from the cart where Camembert Applebottom is, holding the water skin, trying to like lure them. And when I get to Cam, I just stand behind him. I take another arrow and I shoot it.
Okay, at the right or the left?
The right, the same one that I was trying to bait.
Okay.
That's only an 11.
That, as you shoot, it looks like it goes straight through,
Mhm.
but the air is really, really hot, and unfortunately it burns up upon entry.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
so
hopefully you did a good job baiting them.
I'm trying. Get ready with that water skin.
swarm on the right decides that it likes you,
Yeah.
and roasted boar can be really good. So it is going to come and try and attack you, standing behind Camembert.
Yeah.
Camembert, as the swarm approaches, are you going to try and throw your water skin?
I'm gonna like squeeze it to spray water out at them.
All right, perfect. Just for fun, just make an attack roll.
13.
Awesome. You go to spray this water skin at them as they're coming, and as they're like closer to you, you notice that they are kind of fluffy, and they have cute little noses that almost look like a little candle wick, and it just kind of like flickers as they come close. And as you spray this water skin, you manage to put the little flame out on about a quarter of them. So as you do so, even though there's no damage done to the bats because they're still bats, the air for a second gets a little bit less hot.
Ooh, cool.
Which is really good. But they're still going to come and attack
Oh
you.
yeah, for sure.
An 18 to
Yeah,
hit.
that hits.
And you are going to take... Ooh, not bad. You're going to take 4 piercing damage as their little teeth just come and just into your arm that's holding the bow. But you two are currently being surrounded by this swarm of bats, and that was on the right.
Okay.
The one on the left is going to dive bomb the cart that I believe Mrs. Q and not Apoc, oh goodness, Dace and Sir Basil are all next to. So they're just going to kind of go, and they will go for, they're going to go for Dace, who did a lot more damage to them than Sir Basil did to start. Does a 6 hit you, Dace?
Nope.
They go to numb into you the same way they numbed into Apoc, and just not as good. You're a little tougher, have some feathers to work through. But you are now surrounded by ember bats, and so is the wooden cart. Mrs. Q,
Okay.
you are currently curled up into a ball.
Yes, I am. So my understanding is that any spells that require what they're terming is like somatic, I think, requirements, I cannot do, but that means I can still do other spells.
Correct. Anything that's just like verbal or material you can do, but somatic, like think of it, you can't move your hands when you're in your little ball, but if you can see somebody, you can still speak a verbal spell.
Okay. So I want a clarification. I used Word of Radiance earlier, but I'm wondering if I've used it wrong, because it says you utter a divine word and burning radiance erupts from you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. When they say each creature of your choice, that means that, like, what?
You choose who gets it.
Where
You choose who gets it, yeah. So even though Sir Basil was like right there, I assume that you chose not to hit him in your Word of Radiance sphere.
exactly. So does it mean that I can only hit one? Because it says each creature. So like, How does that work?
With the swarm in particular?
Yeah.
Yeah, the swarm is just considered like one creature. Yes, it's a bunch of little bats, but if you're going to do this spell, like whatever damage is caused to the swarm's health.
Okay. Okay. So
Sweet.
from in my little bowl, I grab my pendant and I whisper a word, and more of the pink power comes from my boldness to the swarm that is around the cart. And the swarm must do a con save.
Ooh, does a 6 pass?
No.
So it's full damage for the swarm.
Okay.
Q, you're gonna hurt these cute little bats.
Well, they're dive bombing my buds. That is 6 damage.
6 damage, and that is to the left swarm. You hear just this little, I don't know how bats screech, just I don't know, maybe. As this like different kinds of fire sort of erupts from a very curled up, cute little Miss Q. And the bats take the full brunt of this damage, and a few of them fall with some little pink singes on them. Is that your turn?
Yes, I'm still on the cart. Like I'm sitting in the cart, right?
You're still on the cart. Yes, that's correct.
Good. I'm content with that.
Dace. You are surrounded by a bunch of ember bats, and the air is really freaking hot.
Okay.
You're gonna need to make a Constitution saving throw for me, my friend.
Okay. 21.
Anyone? And actually, this is a good point. Mrs. Q, can you make a Constitution save as well?
Ooh.
Let me- Two.
Mrs. Q, as you hit the ember bats with some radiant damage, poking your nose out to sea, your little nose gets a little singed, and you take 2 points of fire damage just from the heat of this storm. Dace, you're pretty hardy. You just kind of, this is like walking through the desert for you. It's fine. Continue with your turn, Dace.
Can I jump up and do like a whirlwind like 360, or can I just, or do I have to specifically target an enemy?
No, so the swarm is the enemy. It's treated as a creature. So yeah, you can jump up and do a 360 and you'll hit a couple bats, but I only have 1 pool of health for the swarm.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, can I do that with my great axe?
Yeah, so you jump up and do a 360 with your great axe, make an attack roll.
That is a 12.
That just hits these little critters. Go ahead and roll some damage.
That's going to hit for 12.
Oh,
12 damage. These little bats, they're getting pissed at you because you have killed so many of their friends, and they're just cute little bats with little candle noses. And as you swing around, there's now more and more spaces in this swarm, so you don't hit as many as you thought you were going to. Kind of slices through the air at some points, but you definitely take out a good chunk. There's not a lot left of this swarm. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's everything.
Sir Basil, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw because the air is hot.
Okay. Ooh. 8.
Poor little Sir Basil, you're very short, but your ears stick up tall enough that you also get singed and take 2 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Continue with your turn.
Let me think. So we know that the current swarm around us is like looking a lot less like. Can we tell from the swarm how it's looking, like how many bats there are still around us, or is it still too many?
In your swarm?
Yeah.
Your swarm's looking pretty thin. You have like a few really pissed off bats, but you cannot see right now Apoc or Camembert because their swarm is fiery.
Okay. Ooh, what do I do? What do I do?
Just shoot your bow.
At our current one?
Sure. They're still gonna take damage as a swarm, right?
But we're taking damage right now. So is it better to try and cool them down?
Are you able to do that?
Well, I have a water skin.
Oh, I see.
Let me think.
About 3 bats left in your swarm.
All right, I'll just
They're just really angry.
I like match their ferocity and I do another jump and I try and swing at them like a big wide swing. All right, let's see.
Get him.
16.
Yep, that hits. There's no need to roll damage. There's only
Hey.
3 bats left.
Boom. Okay.
You take your sweeping great sword through the last 3 bats, and they make their bat noises that I'm not going to do again. And just that is the end of your swarm. And you notice there are a few splinters of wood on the cart that started to catch fire, but you can put those out very quickly.
Cool. How far is Cam and Apoc from us?
Camembert, I think you said you were like 10 feet away?
Yeah, about that.
10 feet away?
So with the rest of my movement, could I like move towards them?
Absolutely. Are you just going straight into that bat swarm?
Yes, for now.
Yeah, you can definitely run straight into the bat swarm. You bump into like
That's
Apoc's
right in.
legs.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
You used your movement and your action. You're there, but unless there's any bonus action you have.
I said so. Apparently, I can use help, which I think gives another creature advantage
So
on their.
that's an action to do.
It says you can use help as a bonus action.
That might be his racial.
Shoot, that's awesome.
Yeah, gerbeans are cool. I was
Yeah.
looking at that.
Absolutely, go for it. Yeah, you can definitely use the help action. Someone specific, or do you just, I'll let you just kind of throw it out there for the next person that needs help.
So, because I'm not too sure, I was trying to read up on like what exactly that means. Does it mean like I get an extra attack, or does it mean like for the next person, their turn, we would just work it that like I'm helping them?
Yeah, you can give advantage to another creature on their turn. So if you're saying like, Apoc behind you, and Apoc goes to attack, he has advantage on that attack.
Okay.
I think that's what help is.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that then. I just like run into this swarm of bats and I just yell, Apoc! And like I jump to his help.
All right, so you'll have advantage on your next attack.
Gotcha.
Camembert, you are up first.
Okay.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw in the middle of this bat swarm.
17.
All right, you somehow, even though you have oil in your armor,
It was the water that he threw.
yes, you get enough water on you that you don't take any fire damage. Continue with your turn.
Basil, Dace, help. I'm gonna pull out my dagger and just like swing it wildly into the air to see whatever I can hit.
Amazing. Make an attack roll.
I'll use like I think whenever I do something, I'm gonna use the roaring blade.
Yeah, sounds good.
And
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's sneak attack, but here's going. Oh, that's a 13.
Yes, that hits. And yeah, sneak attack since you're kind of in
okay.
melee with everyone.
Six damage, and if the swarm moves, they take another 5.
Right. Yeah, so you swing wildly out with this dagger, and yeah, you like carve through a couple of them, making progress, but the swarm is still swarming. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it.
All right, Apoc. Constitution saving throw.
Nat 20.
All right.
Hey.
You also have water on you from the water skin somehow.
Yeah, it's like
Even though
champagne
you're
shower. It's
standing
just
behind him.
Um,
Continue with your turn.
what kind of action would it be to like empty a water skin on myself? Would that be a full action?
I would say it's just like a bonus action. It's something really quick you can do.
Yeah, okay. As a bonus action, I'm just gonna pour my water skin all over me, trying to keep cool in the fire.
Awesome. Love it.
And then as my action, I'm gonna, while holding the longbow in my left hand, I'm just gonna reach down with my right, pull out a dagger, and swing through the bats in melee,
Alright.
just arcing up above me, with Sir Basil's help.
That's a roll advantage.
Jesus, those are both cocked.
Reroll.
Yeah. 19.
Yes, that hits. Roll some damage.
It's D4. It's 5 points of damage.
All right. Still chipping away, but there's still about half the swarm left. And are you doing anything else on your turn?
They're still surrounding us, right? Like
They
we
are
can't get
still
out.
surrounding you, exactly.
Yes, we'll stay there.
All right, and they got a taste for you, Apoc. They're gonna just chow down on you.
Bring it, coward.
I don't think that's gonna hit.
No,
Does an 8 hit you?
no.
These cute little bats, instead of nomming on your arm, they accidentally land on it, and they just kind of look at you, half confused that they
Oh.
landed on you, and then they fly away and turn vicious again. Mrs. Q, you're still in a little hole, little
Yeah.
caught ball.
Still in the bowl, but I think I can, let's see. I don't know if this is going to work. But I have the ability to, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work. So you can tell me if it doesn't. So I cast my thaumaturgy, or however you say that, cantrip, which causes the flames on their little noses to dim. And I'm hoping that that's going to mean less con saves because their noses are not so hot.
Interesting. I like it. Yeah, I will definitely allow that to happen because that's super cool.
Mhm.
And that lasts for 1 minute.
Amazing. Take an inspiration for that because that's a really cool use of that spell.
Oh, thanks.
I like it. Okay, so this is Rosemary Quillam around you, Apoc, Camembert, and Sir Basil, since you're in there. You notice that these cute little noses are just not as fiery and they're just even cuter now. They're just little bugs, little balls of fire. They're cute. Are you doing anything else on your turn, Mrs. Q?
I don't know if uncurling is like what that counts as. I know curling up is an action, but I don't know what uncurling requires.
I don't curl up one action. I mean, I'll let you get out of it for free if you want. It takes nothing to uncurl, so you can just stand up.
I'll just okay.
Shake out these old bones. All right. Dace, you're the last one by the cart with Mrs. Q. You can hear Eliza yelling from another like 40 feet back. You good? Everyone good? I can't see you. You good?
I can hear her.
Yeah, she seems
Yeah.
fine. She's like way behind the second swarm. But your friends, there's 3 of them currently in the middle of this swarm.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just rush into the right swarm.
Yep.
Because so I'll take my movement towards the right swarm, and then I'll jump and I'll leap in, and then try to do the like whirlwind spin again.
Absolutely.
With my great axe.
Yeah, girl. You almost trip over Sir Basil as you run in, just because like it's a little hard to see.
Yeah. Well, it's a crit 1. So is that just a crit 1?
Oh, we have a critical fail on an attack.
Yeah.
All right. That's our first critical fail. All right, Dace. You go to jump into this whirlwind and you think you look dope. In reality, you go to spin around in a circle and your foot kind of slipped. You didn't really feel it, but it definitely did. And instead you end up doing like this weird, awkward, wiggled front flip, like if a javelin isn't thrown right, and you just kind of wiggle and you go to land. Make me an acrobatics check.
21.
Okay, very lucky. You go to land and you stumble a little bit, do a little bit of a barrel roll and stand back up and realize you hit absolutely nothing and almost fell flat on your face. Thankfully you didn't. You're in the middle of the fray, but it was, you're embarrassed. That your pride is hurt now.
Embarrassed.
Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Basil, make a Constitution saving throw with
Okay.
advantage.
Oh, with advantage. Okay.
Thanks to Mrs. Q.
Ooh.
They both suck.
11.
You just made it.
Oh man.
Ooh.
You feel Mrs. Q's like little pink energy kind of wave to you as the little bat's nose kind of came down in flames, and you don't take any damage. What are you gonna do?
Gonna similar thing, kind of jump up and kind of swat these things.
Right, make an attack.
With your
With my great sword.
Oh,
It's kind of
okay.
a
no,
big,
just like
a big swing.
It's a bug swatter now.
So that's 17.
Yeah, definitely hits.
very nice.
So that's 10 damage.
10 damage. You swat through and take out another half of this swarm, and like there are 6 angry bats that are still kind of flying around you, and they just kind of like scream at you, but they're fluffy, so it's not that scary, but like they're still screaming at you and you're not sure if you should scream or laugh. The swarm is still kind of there. It's just very, 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 very thin. Anything else on your turn, Sir Basil?
I guess I don't need to use help because we already have advantage because of your thing.
Only for the con save.
Oh, you're right. After swinging and landing, I'll kind of like quickly spin and I will use help on Cam.
Great. Camembert, you are up. Make a con save with advantage, thanks to Mrs. Q.
Oh no. It's a 2 and a 3.
Okay.
So with advantage, that's a 2.
Even with Mrs. Q's help, even with the water that's still kind of on your skin from before, one little bat just gets a little too close and kind of just singes the hairline underneath your little top hat, and you take 2 points of fire damage.
Oh, okay. Keep it off, keep it off. And as I see hey, swords look pretty cool. Do you mind if I try a little bit? And I pull out a rapier.
Nice.
How do I do it?
I like come up behind you and I kind of just like, what's my strategy there? Like, do I stand beside you or do I like, there's no mouse hold you? And, like, lead you?
Like a date at a mini golf course trying to show me how to swing.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Ghosting.
Like, It's all about the carry through.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. That's a nat 20.
You know what? Inspiration for both of you just because it ended in a nat 20. That's amazing.
Amazing.
I'm out.
How do you want to do this, Camembert?
I swing with the full like direction of the little mouse, and I kind of look down and wink as the blade cuts through.
Like mid swing, it goes like kind of slow mo, and it's
Yeah.
just like a moment we share.
Yes.
Just wink. Yeah, I love it.
Go.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yes, you cut through the last of the ember bats, and the ground around you is now littered with little ember bat bodies. And as you watch, they kind of just like, and sort of burn up whatever fire was inside of them, just consumes the corpse. Good job, guys.
Boom.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
We will pick up there. I'm sorry we went over. We'll pick up there next week, right after the combat ends. Eliza is now like 80 feet back. She just kept moving. And next week we'll enter Winnoning Reach.
Awesome.
Boom.
Awesome. So much fun.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That was literally so great. There was so much there.
Awesome.
Oh,
That was really cute. I love all these little characters.
you did really good, Andrea. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice setup.